Chapter 101 Confession. Since there is the main body, there is no need for us to stay here, let's go. The 20 shadow clones present greeted the main body, formed seals one after another, and used the Flying Thunder God technique to fly elsewhere to participate in the search for little Sakura. Seeing this, Naruto couldn't help thinking about it. Why can the huge amount of memory that can overwhelm him and stun him have no effect on shadow clone? You know, when a shadow clone disappears, all shadow clone, including Naruto itself, will gain memory. If it wasn't for Ino's help, he would probably be in a coma for another 10.5 months. On the other hand, the shadow clones are alive and kicking, and it's depressing to compare them. Hanabi tugged on Naruto's sleeve and whispered, "Brother-in-law, what are you doing?" "Your sister." Naruto explained softly. Knowing that the older sister's white eyes are transformed, and in order to solve the problem of chakra volume, she is becoming Jinchuriki. Hanabi asked curiously, "So, brother-in-law, your exaggerated chakra volume is also due to the tailed beast?" Naruto nodded. "I want to be a Jinchuriki too," said Hanabi with twinkling eyes. "Nonsense." Hayashi, with sharp ears, couldn't help saying after hearing it clearly. "Your sister's Jinchuriki, I'm worried that I won't be able to keep it, and I dare not speak up, for fear of causing trouble. If you become a Jinchuriki again, why don't you say that you want to go to heaven? With Hinata and Naruto in the clan, 2 Jinchuriki are enough. You will be classified as a branch house in the future. There is no need to stand out because of your status as a Jinchuriki. Just be an ordinary jonin." Hanabi misfired, and muttered aggrievedly, "If you can't do it, you can't do it, who cares?" As soon as he finished speaking, Hanabi felt a hand on his head, caressing. "Become it if you want, another day, I will find you a good-tempered tailed beast to make you a Jinchuriki." Naruto said. "Really?" Hanabi was stunned and said in surprise. "N." Naruto nodded. "Naruto. Hayashi. If you want to be helpless, there is nothing you can do. I have the ability, so how can I not satisfy her?" Naruto smiled and said, "Father-in-law, please rest assured, I have a sense of proportion." Hanabi jumped up and down happily, and then jumped on Naruto, rubbing his face affectionately, "Brother-in-law. You are so kind. Better than your father." Hayashi was speechless. Ahead, in front of the altar, grandfather took a long breath and wiped the sweat off his brow. "It's done. Hinata, remember the seal I taught you. It is the key to control the switch of the seal. Use the power of the tailed beast. Be careful not to be careless." "Look at me, what are you talking about? Naruto can use 9 tails chakras so perfectly, he must have experience in this field, you should ask him more, don't make a presumptuous claim." Hinata nodded obediently. "Is there anything else?" "No, we'll go back," Naruto said. "The traces have been destroyed, and the branch house has also arranged a cover-up task. No one knows that 3 tails is here." Hayashi said, "It's okay, let's go." Naruto understood, controlled 9 tails chakra to separate from the body, turned into 4 chakra hands, and grabbed Hinata, Hanabi, Hayashi and grandfather's shoulders respectively. "Flying Thunder God, activate!" In a flash, the 5 of them crossed a long distance in an instant and returned to Konoha village, Naruto's home. After exhorting Hinata, the 2 elders left. Naruto just mentioned the food expenses, and the speed of the 2 of them suddenly increased, like an arrow from the string, they disappeared without a trace in the blink of an eye. Naruto. "I don't understand, is it because he is thinking about the tens of millions that Hinata sent him, and wants Hinata to come and eat it, or is it because the family has no money and cannot afford Hinata?" Speaking of eating, Naruto asked Nine Tails if Ino took care of it. "Yes." Nine Tails said, "In her own capacity, she spent your money and hired 3 cooks, and they will be ready and delivered at regular intervals. It's not cheap without asking." Naruto helped. "Little Sakura is in the hands of Danzo, and her life and death are unknown. Hinata's daily expenses are surprisingly high. Blocked at both ends, a mess." According to the guidance of Nine Tails, Naruto went into the kitchen and delivered tonight's cooking. The uneaten meal was summoning out of the scroll. Heat it up, put it on the table, and signal Hinata to come and eat. The sealing technique is quite interesting, and it is also the most mysterious category in the ninja world. Sealing a large object in a scroll that is much smaller than it is, so that it is easy to carry and place. This is just the most superficial usage of the sealing technique. Thanks to this, otherwise, how could Naruto's small kitchen hold food that could satisfy Hinata's appetite? "Hanabi, have you taken a shower?" Naruto asked. "No." Hanabi shook her head. "Has the Flying Thunder God learned?" Naruto asked. "No." Hanabi still shook his head. "Then you still have the mind to chat with your sister here, go quickly," Naruto urged. "I'll keep the tailed beast for you. The tailed beast alone is not enough. You have to improve yourself. Seize every available time and race against the clock." With a few words, he dismissed the confused Hanabi, and Naruto sat next to Hinata, watching her eat. Under Naruto's gaze, Hinata was embarrassed and said shyly, "Mr. Naruto, you eat too. There are so many, I can't finish them." You're too modest. Naruto said. Hinata. I have asked Nine Tails to communicate with Three Tails. Next, it is up to you to treat Three Tails as a friend and a reliable comrade in arms. Naruto said. With the seal, can the tailed beasts still communicate? Hinata was surprised. Of course, the tailed beast is a remarkable existence. Not only is it handsome and powerful, but it also possesses various magical abilities. Naruto praised. The tone is so readable. Friends and comrades in arms, I see. Hinata nodded. Don't worry, the initial defense is inevitable. After getting along for a long time, it will get better. The premise is that you are sincere. Naruto said. Hearing this, while eating, Hinata was distracted talking to Three Tails and introduced herself. Among the tailed beasts, Three Tails belong to the good-tempered category. They are not as hot as Four Tails, nor are they like Nine Tails. They have the ability to perceive malice, hate, and repel humans. It is not difficult to get the approval of Three Tails after mastering the correct method. Also, there are some things I want to confess to you, related to little Sakura and Ino. Naruto said. In the past about 6 minutes or so. Hinata has a blank face, dumbfounded. Thinking of the past few days, I couldn't help Naruto's pleas, and helped Naruto take a bath and go to the toilet with shame, not what Naruto meant. Naruto's body was controlled by Ino. Her hands couldn't stop shaking, and the corners of her mouth twitched. I want to calm down, sorry. Hinata said, put down the bowl and chopsticks, and ran into the bedroom. Is this okay? Nine Tails said, in order not to embarrass Hinata, I specially let Ino play you well, so that she won't see the flaws. Lying, hiding, can avoid many problems, but... Naruto murmured. Facing Hinata, who likes and loves me with all my heart and will do anything for me, I can't do it. Chapter 102. Bathroom. He pretended to be taking a bath, but in reality he lay down on the door panel, pricked up his ears, and was stunned when he heard Hanabi clearly. It turned out that a few days ago, that girl lived in my brother-in-law's body, no wonder there were so many unnatural things in his life. Hearing the sound of her sister running into the bedroom, Hanabi came back to her senses, took a quick shower, put on her pajamas, and slipped into the bedroom as well. Before closing the door, I looked at the brother-in-law who was sitting at the table with a frown, and felt a little bit worried. In this matter, my brother-in-law was right, and the brother-in-law just wanted to save his companion. Brother-in-law, look at me, it won't cause any grievances between you and your elder sister. Hanabi clenched her little pink fist and thought to herself. Turning his head, he saw his sister sitting on the edge of the bed in a daze. Sister, please don't be angry with your brother-in-law, he didn't mean to do this. Hanabi hugged her sister's arm and said coquettishly. Angry? Angry at Naruto-kun? Why? Hinata froze. Ale, hiding here and not going out, aren't you angry with your brother-in-law? Hanabi was also stunned, and suddenly said. I see. Oni-sama is angry with that Ino, occupying brother-in-law's body. No. Hinata shook her head. Help Naruto-kun maintain basic physical exercise, and, Ino is not malicious, she has taken care of my thoughts, to be honest, I have to thank her, I just... How should I put it? It's weird. I don't know how to describe it to you. That's the kind. Think about it differently. You are the one who is taking care of and serving Naruto-kun. After all, it was a girl who actually felt all of this. It's like you are serving this girl. Hanabi. Seeing Hanabi froze with goosebumps, Hinata said dumbfounded, right. I don't know what other girls think. I just can't accept it anyway. It's okay to rub your back normally, but to change it to that kind of privacy. Stop talking. Me. Hanabi covered her ears. In addition, if Ino and I have the same thoughts and concepts, Hinata said, then she must be more uncomfortable than me, and I have to apologize to her. After communicating, chatting, or confiding in Hanabi, Hinata got better, pushed the door out, and sat next to Naruto again. About to pick up the bowl and chopsticks and continue eating, she seemed to remember something, she clenched her left fist and lightly touched Naruto's arm. Next time, it should be earlier, preferably at the beginning, and tell me. If Hinata had been there, if Hinata hadn't been kept in the dark, if Hinata knew everything, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. Yes. Naruto nodded. His plan is to live his daily life as a shadow clone. Anyway, it's him. It's okay. If your body is wasted, it will be wasted. If you redouble your efforts later, you can still make up for it. The appearance of Ino broke his plan, and Nine Tails didn't want to see his body go to waste, so he asked Ino specially. Who can blame this, things just happened to happen together. Help me make an appointment with Ino. I have something to say to her when I have time tomorrow. Hinata said. Is it an illusion? Hinata, who always felt serious, had an imperceptible aura that made people dare not go against her wishes. Naruto swallowed, and nodded yes. Unconsciously recalling the plot of Boru's one, Hinata smiled blandly, scaring Naruto, Boru, to look disobedient. And little Sakura? Hinata said. Because of my shyness and low self-esteem, I don't have the courage to approach you. It's little Sakura who has been by your side, giving you warmth and care. Although she wants you to help her chase the person she likes, you still can't ignore her dedication to you. Thank you, thank her. Even if you don't care about Naruto-kun, I will try my best to help her, so after you find out the whereabouts of little Sakura, take me with you. Naruto nodded. After the meal, he signaled Naruto to ask Shadow Clone to tidy up the table. Hinata took Naruto's hand and walked to the bathroom. Hinata. Naruto wondered. Taking a bath. Hinata's voice trembled, but she said firmly. But I've already washed it. Naruto. Wash again. Hinata pushed Naruto in, turned on the hot water, and went back to the bedroom to hold Hanabi, telling her not to peek, then followed into the bathroom and locked the door behind her. If Hanabi is obedient and honest, then she is not Hanabi. Chakra refines, eyes open. Before she could see anything clearly, a sudden pressure suddenly came, suppressing her wide-eyed vision, which was greatly restricted, and there was even a stinging pain. Moaning, Hanabi hastily closed his eyes. So overbearing. You can't even look at it. Hanabi rubbed his eyes and muttered softly. About 40 minutes have passed. Seeing her elder sister being hugged and put on the bed by her brother-in-law, the princess, her face was flushed, but she passed out in a coma. Hanabi clapped her hands, that's right. I just said that a few days ago, my sister didn't faint at all. I dare say that girl, she didn't do anything to my sister. Well, I actually didn't do anything. Naruto said. Impossible. If you didn't do anything, how could your sister be unconscious? Hanabi said with certainty. Naruto felt ashamed, smiled awkwardly, tried not to look at Hanabi's bright and curious eyes, covered Hinata with a towel, and left the bedroom. Standing by the balcony, Naruto said to himself. I'm practicing spiritualization, and it's quite effective. I can vaguely perceive the soul. Ino, don't hide, I know you are here. This is a lie, it is defrauding Ino, if Ino is really around, it must be. Here we come. Nine Tails reminded. It seems that you are getting more and more proficient. I don't feel possessed by you at all. Naruto said consciously. Ino. Thank you. Naruto said. You're welcome, I didn't do anything. Ino said. Hinata would like to have dinner with you tomorrow, and talk to you by the way. Naruto said. I know, I was right there. Ino said. Just eat. Well, when she was talking to her sister, I was also by the side. I know what she wants to say. There is no need to meet her specially. Just convey my apology for me. I won't casually possess you in the future, unless it's a battle, a mission, or something special. If you have any clues about Sakura, please tell me and take me with you. Okay. Naruto said, those three chefs, resign, and get back as much money as you can. Ino. She's gone, said Nine Tails. Naruto was silent for a moment. You said, how many shots would it take to use Tailed Beast Bomb to overturn the surface of the village? One shot is enough. Nine Tails. Really? It's a pity that I can't see. I don't know the exact location of the root organization. The blue sea, sky-like eyes, accompanied by Naruto's strong desire, in an instant. Widen. Chapter 103. Hinata is now in a coma. If she is awake, she must be able to feel that the clairvoyant ability belonging to Bun has affected her. Naruto. The huge black and white field of vision is presented in the mind, with a range of more than 1 kilometer and 360 degrees without dead ends. The wires in the walls, the bugs in the trees, the rats in the sewers, adjust to changes in focus, and nothing can impede the penetration of the vision. Blind eyes. I have white eyes. When Naruto came to the mirror, he could see that his eyes had indeed turned into white eyes, without the normal white eyes of caged bird. The nearby blue veins burst out due to the filling of chakra. After interrupting chakra, the bulging veins returned to normal, and the pure white eyes also disappeared, changing back to the original blue. Chakra is then refined, transported to the eyes, activated by chakra, the white eyes appear again, and the black and white vision also appears at the same time. Half of chakra is composed of spiritual energy. The intensity of emotion, mind, and will cause subtle changes in chakra. It's been about 3 months since I got Hamura chakra. Since then, the eyes have been nourished and influenced by Hamura chakra, itching, subtle, and changing. I wanted to see just now, looking for the root tissue hidden in the ground. This emotion can be regarded as a fuse, and it really guides the white eyes that have been brewing. In a blink of an eye, he roughly sorted out his thoughts, and Naruto immediately adjusted his focus and swept down the ground. No, aren't you here? Naruto narrowed his eyes. Hats, masks, simple cover-up preparations, and enough protection, that is, shadow clone, to protect the safety of the sisters. He went out through the window and walked the deserted alley to find root tissue. For some unknown reason, shadow clone can't lead to white eyes, which is an ability that only Naruto can use. Why do you have supercilious eyes? Nine Tails, who was in a daze, only reacted at this moment. I have the ability to copy the ability of the object I have touched. Of course, there is a limit. Naruto said. Sharingan can only copy ninjutsu, you can even copy blood successor boundaries like Bun, you. Ninetales lost his voice. An hour passed. Naruto stood on the roof tank of a house, silent. Konoha turned around and found no underground base of root tissue. Bun's vision is not distorted, blurred, and there is nothing unusual, which proves that there is no enchantment that affects Bun's perspective. The only explanation is that the base Danzo built was deeper, beyond the reach of the white eye. It's just that the underground base can't be found, there are no entrances or passages. Could it be that it is placed elsewhere? It's no wonder that Cloud Shinobi Village is dreaming of taking Bun, this perspective ability is really easy to use. Naruto thought to himself. Danzo digs so deep, probably because he is wary of supercilious eyes, there are many secrets, and he doesn't want to be discovered. Hinata's white eyes can see farther, please ask her to see tomorrow. Hope Danzo is not in Konoha, because that will make it more difficult and expensive for him to kill Danzo. On the contrary, if Danzo is outside the village, he can minimize the impact on Danzo. How to say, Danzo is the veteran of Konoha village, Tsunade, Jiraiya, will not sit idly by, it is better to avoid them. In addition, the Sharingan on Danzo's arm must be counted. Each Sharingan is an Izanagi, representing a life. There are more people in the way around, it's really hard to say that Danzo can be killed 100%. I have Hamura Chakra, Ashura Chakra, will the distinguished heavenly gods work on me? Thinking about this, Naruto jumped off the tank and disappeared into the darkness. The next day, Naruto wakes up early and does morning exercises. Hinata's breakfast, let Shadow Clone do the work. Hinata and Hanabi also wake up for morning exercise. Both sisters work hard. After breakfast, Naruto uses the transformation technique to change into Danzo's appearance, please ask Hinata to help find it. Far beyond the visual distance of ordinary white eyes, just opened it for the first time, and went underground, and found the root organization base. It's empty, is there no one? Naruto heaved a sigh of relief. That's good, next, just wait for the news from Shadow Clone. Or, find Danzo. Or, a certain Jinchuriki, being targeted by Danzo. The days passed day by day. Tsunade succeeds 5th generation. Naruto promoted Chunin. Under Naruto's special training and accompanying training, Hinata has initially mastered the power of 3 tails. With a large amount of chakra as support, it also has a certain ability to control water. Water style can be used, and water in nature can also be manipulated. Ino is also trying to become stronger in his own way. The task of the 7th class, I don't want to see that fake little Sakura, Naruto is afraid that he will not be able to help but let Shadow Clone do it for him. The problem is that Shadow Clone is him, and he can't help it, so in Kakashi and Sasuke's view, the relationship between Naruto and little Sakura has suddenly become a lot colder. 12 days have passed since Naruto woke up and Hinata became Jinchuriki. Today, Naruto received a memory from the Shadow Clone. This person is, Han? I remember it seems to be 5 tails Jinchuriki. At home, Ino always ready to go. After getting the news from Naruto Shadow Clone, I immediately put my body on the bed, and left my soul, ignoring the barrier of the wall, and came to Naruto's house. Possess Naruto. You said there was news. What kind of news? Did you find little Sakura? There was no rush to answer. The family left to protect Hanabi, and tutored Hanabi to practice Flying Thunder God's Shadow Clone. Naruto took Hinata's hand, formed Mudra with one hand, and disappeared out of thin air with a flash of golden light. It reappeared in the inaccessible, desolate, deserted Gobi. Here is the Flying Thunder God mark set by the Shadow Clone before it disappeared. That is. Ino's and Naruto's 5 senses were connected, seeing what Naruto saw. About 7 or 8 kilometers away, there are several figures intertwined and fighting. The tall, red one is 5 tails Jinchuriki. Naruto said softly. The other Jinchuriki are all safe and sound, but he is facing an inexplicable attack, possibly from Danzo's subordinates. Hinata, check to see if they have the seal of Tongue Banger. Hinata rolled her eyes, nodded and said, there are 6 of them. That's right, Danzo has taken a fancy to 5 tails Jinchuriki and wants to attack him. Naruto said. That is to say, if we follow these people, we can find little Sakura. Hearing this, Ino cheered up. Naruto nodded. Wait a minute. Are they getting too close? Ino worried, if there are sentient ninjas among them, they will know that someone is following them. I use transformation technique, please master to design 2 kinds of seal symbols. Naruto said. One to cover life response, one to cover chakra response. In terms of smell, you can only pay attention to being in the downwind at all times. Chapter 104. Temporary Stronghold of the Root Organization. Get up and continue. Danzo said lightly. Cough cough. The saliva mixed with blood was coughed up, the little Sakura was out of breath, barely got up, her legs were weak, and she was so weak that she couldn't stand upright. Little Sakura was not given time to respite and adjust. As another member of the opponent's root organization, he was signaled by Danzo at the beginning and made a decisive move. Little Sakura's consciousness is fuzzy, dizzy, and she can't see clearly, but her body is reflexively blocking and parrying. Danzo opened one eye and looked at little Sakura. He didn't read wrong, let alone bet wrongly, he was indeed a good seedling. The brain is smart, the comprehension is extremely high, and he can learn everything very quickly. After supplementing the two congenital deficiencies of neural response and chakra volume, it can be described as perfect. Suddenly, due to loss of strength, the movement slowed down a bit, and the little Sakura suffered a heavy blow on the side, flew out backwards, and rolled several times on the ground. His head was bleeding and he was in extreme embarrassment, and finally he couldn't bear it anymore and passed out. Danzo seals. Little Sakura, who was already in a coma, suddenly woke up from the pain, screaming and rolling on the ground. Being able to wake up from the pain seems to have not reached the limit. Get up and continue. Danzo said. With little Sakura, he no longer pays attention to Nine Tails, it doesn't matter if he has the best. If you make up your mind to train little Sakura to be the most desirable tool, you will naturally do everything you can, cruel or not, you don't need to think about it. As for whether this kind of extreme pressure training will make the little Sakura's spirit collapse, and whether it will shorten the little Sakura's lifespan, it is not a question for Danzo to think about. Anyway, he's getting old, even if he becomes a Hokage, he won't be able to sit for long. Before he dies, it's the best way to maximize his profits by draining the available value of little Sakura. I've said it many times, tools don't cry, you always cry like this, what do you look like? Danzo said flatly. Yes, I'm sorry, I will change it, please no, please don't. Little Sakura hurriedly wiped away her tears, choked up. Language is unforgettable without pain. Danzo said, and was about to seal again, triggering the spell set on little Sakura's heart. The sound of footsteps approaching from outside stopped him. Oh, did you catch the Five Tails Jinchuriki? Danzo said, traces, how did you disguise them, is there anyone following them? The ninja tools are products of Cloud Shinobi Village, the ninja techniques are lightning style, and the secret medicine of Cloud Shinobi Village Umbu. The subordinate said, if you follow, there is no. The special waterway passes through the underground river. Danzo nodded, and said to little Sakura, take a day off, adjust your condition, and then seal Five Tails. Little Sakura was medicated and fell asleep. Hinata said. Two female ninjas are taking care of her, taking her into an empty room, giving her treatment, massage, infusion, and soaking in medicinal baths. Danzo decided to seal Five Tails one day later, how did you hear it so far away? Naruto wondered. His white eyes don't have the function of hearing, or is it that Hinata's transformed white eyes can hear? I have taught myself lip language. Hinata whispered. Naruto gave a thumbs up without saying anything. What are you going to do? Ino asked. She knows her own weight, and she still has to rely on Naruto to save little Sakura and kill Danzo. Worried that something bad would happen, she dared not, nor would she be impulsive, to do anything on her own initiative. That. Hinata said suddenly. I just saw that there is a spell on little Sakura's heart. The seal of Danzo just now may be to activate this spell to bring pain to little Sakura. Naruto took a deep breath, closed his eyes and thought for a long time, Hinata, Ino, listen to me. The next day. The ceremony to seal the Five Tails has officially begun. Danzo owns Mangekyo Sharingan, and is also a grandmaster, who is good at sealing techniques. With the assistance of several subordinates, he replaced Jinchuriki and was easily captured. The one who was tortured was afraid and did not dare to disobey Danzo's little Sakura, with a numb face, lying on the altar. Then, Five Tails Jinchuriki, Han, the seal on his body was released by Danzo. The crimson chakra belonging to the tailed beast exploded. The dreaded chakra overflowed and boiled. In the end, these chakra condensed together and took shape, turning into a tens of meters tall, snow-white monster with horns, resembling a deer, not a deer, a dolphin, and a horse. The Han who lost the tailed beast did not have the vitality of the Uzumaki clan and died on the spot. Freed again, Five Tails hissed and roared, bursting with steam. Be quiet. Danzo pulled off the bandage, and controlled Five Tails with the power of Mangekyo Sharingan's pupils. Damn! The voice belonging to Five Tails loomed. Danzo is sealing on one side, and Five Tails is cooperating uncontrollably, and the progress is faster than sealing Three Tails. When the last point of Five Tails chakra disappears, it is also on the belly of little Sakura, with the navel as the center, forming a seal. Done. Danzo closed his hand and let out a sigh. Most of the consumption is on the subordinate side, he is not very tired. Chakra's problem, solved, next. Danzo said, wrapping the bandages. Meanwhile, Hinata said, blocked. His right eye. Ino. Naruto said. Ino leaves Naruto, passes through a barrier that blocks sentience, possesses and controls Danzo. The whole process takes no more than a second. In the plot, in the Fourth Ninja World War, Ino, with the cooperation of Hinata's white eyes, controlled Obito from a super remote distance, indirectly offsetting the tailed beast bomb of 10 tails. Although the time of control is very short, but you know, Obito at that time, had his own Mangekyo and Madara's Rinnegan. Strength, especially mental strength, is no small matter. 12-year-old Ino is definitely not as good as 16-year-old her. Danzo is definitely not as good as Obito. Again, for what Ino has to do, a few seconds is more than enough. Under the stunned gaze of several subordinates, Danzo suddenly made a move, gouged out his right eye, and threw it bloody into the distance. Under the sound of breaking through the air, this Sharingan, contrary to common sense, increased instead of decreasing, met a handful of kunao in mid-air, and passed by. The gravitational force acting on the Sharingan. The repulsive force acting on suffering. The instigator, Hinata, is not at fault. With a flash of golden light, Naruto appeared next to kunao out of thin air. Sage mode. 9 tails chakra blasts straight to 4 tails. The status is fully open. A thunderous punch, from top to bottom, smashed Danzo into a pulp. Before that, Ino's soul had already left, and rushed to the nearby Danzo's subordinates, no longer possessing, but killing. On the altar. Little Sakura who just sat up. See Naruto appearing out of nowhere. See Danzo who couldn't die anymore. Seeing Danzo's subordinates, one by one, died inexplicably. The numb face became angry. There were waves in the godless eyes. Naruto. Naruto turned his head, smiled and said, "It's all right, we're here to pick you up." Chapter 105. Naruto? Naruto. Really Naruto? Pinch yourself. Pain. Not dreaming. Little Sakura flew into Naruto's arms, hugged her tightly, and shouted excitedly, "Naruto! Naruto! 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 And me, wide forehead." Ino said through Naruto's mouth. This nickname. Ino. Little Sakura was startled, "Are you Naruto or Ino? We'll discuss this issue later, now." Naruto pressed little Sakura's shoulders and turned her body to one side, "Stand still and don't move." There, Hinata was sent by Naruto's shadow clone with Flying Thunder God. The white eyes remain open. Holding the Mangekyo Sharingan in the left hand. The right hand pierced the little Sakura's heart, destroying the charm on the heart, and destroying 3/5 of the heart together. You. Little Sakura couldn't believe it. "I know it hurts, so bear with it a little bit," Naruto said. Hinata had a solemn face, not daring to be careless. After confirming that the spell was completely destroyed and there was no residue left, she immediately extracted Naruto's chakra from the air and guided it into the heart of little Sakura. When they first heard about Naruto's plan, both Hinata and Ino were frightened. Until I witnessed the demonstration made by Naruto, it proved that his chakra, without nature transformation, has the effect comparable to or even surpasses medical ninjutsu. Only then dare to execute. Uzumaki Naruto, and Hyuga Hinata, how did you end up here? At some point, except for the right eye, Danzo, whose other parts had recovered to their original state, stood not far away and said in a deep voice. Finding little Sakura's body trembling, Naruto said softly, "Don't be afraid, I will deal with him. Ask Hinata to look after little Sakura. Chakra, don't be shy, pump hard." Naruto glanced over at Danzo. "It's exactly what you said. You've been beaten like that, and you're still alive." Ino said in shock. Izanagi. When activated, the current physical state will be recorded. During the effective period of the technique, no matter how serious the injury is, even the unfavorable factor of death can be transformed into a dream, reverse reality, and return to the recorded state. Note: chakra consumed by Izanagi cannot be recovered. When Ino is in Danzo's body, killing Danzo will kill Ino as well, which is based on the Yamanaka family secret. I have mastered the spiritualization technique and can control my own soul. Is it still like this? I haven't tested it, so I'm not sure. It is really not easy to test it casually if it has something to do with life and death. To be on the safe side, you can only kill Danzo after Ino leaves. It should be the Izanagi that was activated in the brief interval between Ino's departure and the time I hammered him to death. Naruto thought to himself. If Izanagi had activated it earlier, before the right eye was gouged out, then Danzo who recovered at this time would also recover the right eye. Instead, the Mangekyo in Hinata's hand will disappear. With Ino here, it was a great help. He was the first to remove the whole card of distinguished heavenly gods, and in this wilderness, there was no suspense in killing Danzo. Naruto disappeared in an instant, dragged a beam of light, and blasted in front of Danzo. Danzo was surprised, so fast. Can't escape. Speed is not what he is good at. Boom. The head, hit by Naruto with full force, was blown apart like a watermelon. Not long after, Danzo revived, the Sharingan on his arm closed permanently, and this is the second one. Uzumaki Naruto. Are you crazy? Know what you're doing? Danzo snapped. Of course I know. Naruto said. Nine Tails chakra turned into a big hand, like pinching a little man, and grabbed Danzo close to him. He shook his hand casually, and hit him with all his strength, hitting him in the face. Boom. This is Danzo's third life. It's unreasonable. I'm the elder of Konoha. If you do this, you're betraying the village. Danzo's face was very gloomy. What are you? You are like a dog, you can't represent Konoha. Naruto grabbed Danzo again, dragged it on the ground like a dead dog, slipped up again, and hammered with both fists crazily. The fourth life. Damn it! Danzo yelled. You will regret it. Uzumaki Naruto, and you, Hyuga Hinata. You will regret your actions. Think I'm great? Heh, young children, how can they understand how powerful the village is? An individual will never be an opponent of a group. Harano Sakura, call someone, go back to the village and call someone, no. Send me back first. The heart and skin were all repaired. The hole in the heart was covered with his left hand. The little Sakura came to Danzo with his head down. Are you trying to save her? You even tried your best to break the spell, oh, naive. Danzo sneered and said, Harano Sakura is already my puppet, she is absolutely impossible to betray me. Looking at Danzo mockingly, Naruto laughed, really? Why are you laughing, what are you doing? Danzo spat out a mouthful of blood, his spine was broken, and he fell to the ground unsteadily due to this severe injury. Be wary of Naruto in front of him, but not behind him at all. Turning his head with difficulty, Danzo said in disbelief, how is it possible? Impossible. You hit the distinguished heavenly gods, how could it be, you are not Harano Sakura? I've endured you for a long time. BD. Little Sakura roared, clenched his fist with his right hand, and smashed it down hard. I haven't got the true inheritance of Tsunade yet, so the power is almost there, but if you want to smash someone to death, if you don't hold back, there is no problem at all. Danzo, who was revived again with Izanagi, appeared beside Hinata. Give me back the Sharingan. Taking back Mangekyo is one, and taking Hinata hostage is the second. Can't beat Naruto. The little Sakura-kin flying thunder god, and for some reason, broke the control of the distinguished heavenly gods, and there are no available minions around. The only one who can do it is Hinata. Danzo has a good plan, but... Hi. Danzo was stunned, he was half a meter away from touching Hinata, but no matter how close he was, there was an invisible resistance in front of him. Hinata gave a soft snort, and chakra erupted. With the support of a large number of chakra, the strength of the repulsive force is quite impressive. Danzo groaned and flew upside down tens of meters away, still in the air, was caught by Naruto with the hand of Nine Tails chakra, and dragged down. Fire style, Raise Non. Chakra, after the nature transformation of fire, comes with high temperature, burning and other effects. Naruto across the Nine Tails chakra, no problem. Danzo is miserable, which is equivalent to being tortured by a red-hot soldering iron. Ah! The Raise Non explodes, setting Danzo ablaze, turning him into Burning Man. Danzo, who hadn't suffered for a long time and was pampered, couldn't bear it and quickly used Izanagi. He's there. Hinata was the first to spot Danzo. If you want to escape, you are so naive. Naruto sneered, Hinata, use gravity. Hinata reached out and grabbed Danzo, the invisible gravity grabbed him and dragged him back forcibly. What? Danzo changed face. Naruto spread out his right hand, fire style, Raise Non. Ah! Danzo screamed endlessly. Chapter 106. I'm going to die now, right? Ino, who was still attached to Naruto, looked at the ashes on the ground where a human figure could be vaguely seen through Naruto's perspective, and hesitated. N. Naruto nodded. Count and kill Danzo 10 times. Izanagi, instead of saving Danzo's life, on the contrary, became the source of his suffering. One more life means being killed one more time, and the process is very painful. Naruto or Ino? And Hinata? Little Sakura solemnly bowed down to thank. Thanks. I thought I was completely finished, I couldn't see any hope, but I didn't expect. Thanks to Naruto, relying on me alone, it is difficult to find you, let alone save you. Ino said through Naruto's mouth. Not understanding what is going on between Ino and Naruto, little Sakura has many questions to ask and many things to say. But after seeing Danzo's ashes, she swallowed them all, and when she reached her mouth, she changed it to entrustment. Okay, can I ask you one more thing? Little Sakura lowered her head. Help me take care of my parents. Danzo is dead, and I'm still alive. There is a suspicion that I can't escape. I have no way to go back. There is a high probability that I will wander around as a traitor. In order not to cause trouble for you, in the future, there may be very few opportunities to meet each other. Of course, if you are in trouble and need my help, no matter how far away, I will come and do my best. Then. Little Sakura. Ino couldn't bear it, but he also knew that this was the best result. With the identity of Shimura Danzo so mysterious that even his father and Mr. Asuma feel powerless, as the suspected little Sakura, he does not want to involve Naruto, Hinata. Only escape. Then what? Clean up the traces, let's go back. Naruto interjected. Little Sakura hesitated, and finally gave up the urge to express her heart. In the future, it will be her who is rebellious and tolerant, and Naruto who is working hard with Hokage as the goal. Not far. The three of them worked together to destroy the suspicious traces that belonged to them. To a certain extent, unless you can go back in time and actually see the scene, otherwise, you will never guess who it is. Cleaned up. Little Sakura said, how do you go back? Do you want me to send you? Little Sakura, you must take care of yourself and be safe, I will. Ino couldn't bear the sadness of parting, controlled Naruto to hug little Sakura, and cried. Little Sakura stayed. Naruto was speechless, what, I have been talking to myself, you two, you want to go back together, who said you have to separate? Huh? Naruto, what can you do? Ino was stunned, and then said in surprise. Give me back my body. Naruto said. Nine-Tails shot, of course, can help him regain control and drive Ino away, but it will also hurt Ino. Injury to the soul is not just for fun, it's not worth it. Oh. Ino quickly let go of the control. Naruto regained control, took Hinata's hand, and made a mudra with one hand, follow me, don't worry, the situation is not as bad as you think. With a flash of golden light, the two returned to their home in Konoha village. Naruto-kun, this. Hinata spread out her left hand, on which lay the Mangekyo Sharingan that Danzo snatched from Shisui quietly. Put yours in safekeeping first. Naruto said, sending Ino away, motioning for the little Sakura who flew over with the Flying Thunder God to follow, and he activated the Flying Thunder God again himself. Little Sakura was full of doubts, not knowing what Naruto was going to do, nodded to Hinata, followed immediately, and appeared in the Hokage office. Ino didn't go. Nine-Tails. I promise not to interrupt, it won't affect you, I just want to listen to it and know the follow-up. Ino. The next is not an example. Naruto. Dialogues that take place in consciousness, unknowingly. See little Sakura coming over. In the office, there are only Tsunade and Shizune, the little pigs and pigs. Naruto brewed a good mood, organized his words, and said, Sister Tsunade, I have caused a big disaster. Oh, what a disaster. Tsunade wondered. I killed Shimura Danzo. Naruto said. Tsunade. To clean up the traces is to avoid letting more people know. Tsunade can't hide it, and it can't be hidden. If you want little Sakura to stay in Konoha safely, you can't do without Tsunade. Then, Naruto Barabara explained what happened. Hide the Mangekyo Sharingan, Hinata and Ino's assistants, and take the responsibility as much as possible on yourself. No. Master Hokage. It's not what Naruto said. Little Sakura said hastily. It's not like this or what? I know you are grateful to me and want to share the burden for me. Let me tell you that I do things by myself. I don't need it. Naruto said. Danzo, is he really dead? Tsunade asked. The dead are the scum. Naruto said. Boom. Tsunade smashed the desk with a slap, and said angrily, Uzumaki Naruto. You are so courageous. You dare to kill anyone, don't you? Well, one day, you still want to kill me. How come? Sister Tsunade is the greatest Hokage, it's too late for me to respect you. Naruto said. Oh, it sounds good, but what will you actually do? Tsunade sneered, Shizune, take him to prison, and he won't be allowed to come out if he doesn't live for 5 years. Master Tsunade. Shizune was startled, and wanted to persuade a few words, but seeing Tsunade blink twice quickly, he realized that there was a problem, so he nodded yes. Master Hokage. Listen to my explanation. It's not like this. Little Sakura jumped anxiously. Whether that's the case or not, I make my own judgment, but you. Tsunade took a sip of tea and looked at the little Sakura, do you want to be my apprentice? Konoha prison. The prisoners who heard the movement knew that there was a newcomer, and they all probed their brains to wait and see, and found that the visitor was a young man, around 12 or 13 years old, and they were all stunned. Aha! Teacher Mizuki with disheveled hair and not a particularly good image, his eyes lit up and he said happily. Who is this? Isn't this the legendary fox? Why did you come in too? Ha ha ha. The new Hokage is better than that old man from 3rd generation. He did a good job, monster, and should be locked up. Naruto, who was thinking about something with his head down, heard the sound and recognized Mizuki. I want to share a room with him. Shizune looked at Naruto, then at Mizuki, nodded and said, okay. Chinin, who is in charge of guarding the place, immediately took the key to open the door. Hehe, you are so brave, you dare to take the initiative to come to your door. Mizuki grinned grimly. The last time I did something bad to me, in this prison, everyone was set up with a sealing technique that inhibits chakras refining. Without chakra, you're a brat and I can beat you to death with one hand. Snapped. Mizuki's eyes blurred, the whole body soared into the air, flipped 3.5 times, and fell heavily to the ground. Hi. Mizuki was taken aback, turned to look at Naruto who was slowly walking towards him while pinching his fingers, realized something, and exclaimed. You can use chakra. You are not sealed. Chapter 107. Hayaga's house. Don't worry, it's okay. Hayashi, who just came back from the Hokage building, said calmly. The purpose of 5th generation is to stop the mouths of the 2 consultants. After all, it is not ordinary people who die, but... Besides, there is also the meaning of teaching Naruto a lesson. It is unreasonable not to punish him for doing such a big thing quietly. But... Hinata said sadly, there are so many bad people in the prison, it's cold, dark, and damp, Naruto-kun lives in that kind of place. Concerned about chaos. Hayashi sighed. You can visit him, bring him more quilts, food, drink, and one more. Naruto has not been sealed and is in full bloom. The 5th generation said she is not an opponent of Naruto's full strength. Do you think that in the prison, who can bully him? Not to mention that Naruto can also Flying Thunder God, come and go freely, you can leave a shadow clone inside to pretend, and the main body goes home to eat and sleep. It is said that it is confined and punished, but in fact it all depends on Naruto's self-awareness. That's it. Hinata was confused, then I go to visit now. Go, tell me what, in name, you are all his people. Hayashi was speechless. Hinata, who couldn't wait to run out, turned back after less than 10 seconds, Father, I want to come back and live. Why, I'm not used to living there. Hayashi said nervously. No, it's just. Hinata twitched, I don't want to put too much financial pressure on Naruto-kun. Hayashi. Putting down the teacup, getting up, leading Hinata out of the house, out of the yard, out of the clan gate. Father. Hinata was stunned. Hey, go back to Naruto's house. Hayashi said gently. Without any delay, the door was slammed shut. Locked. Hinata. Konoha prison. The cell where Naruto lives. The first person to visit was Kakashi. You did what I wanted to do but couldn't. Hearing what Kakashi said, Naruto was stunned, and said, Mr. Kakashi, you know little Sakura? Yes. Kakashi said. Not long after being cured by Mr. Hokage, I noticed something was wrong with little Sakura. I pretended not to know, and then used some relationship investigations. I roughly guessed that she fell into Danzo's hands. I can't do anything about Danzo, so I will report to Master Hokage immediately. How should I put it, Danzo, the 2 consultants, you can see them as a whole, the interests of the 3 are the same, for Konoha, you can sacrifice everything. Even Lord 3rd generation can't ignore the opinions put forward by the 3 of them. If they make trouble with the daimyo, they may even be dismissed. 5th generation, when she first came to power, it is difficult to shake Danzo in terms of power. The only thing she can do is to exchange benefits. Is it possible? Naruto asked. Danzo, he hid outside the village, ignoring the purposeful call of the 5th generation. Kakashi said helplessly. He fell in love with little Sakura's talent, and wanted to train little Sakura to be a cold-blooded, emotionless tool. How could he exchange it? Naruto said. That's why I said, you did what I wanted to do but couldn't. Kakashi laughed. Break out of the constraints of the rules, outside the sphere of power, with absolute strength, kill Danzo and save little Sakura. Remember what I said when you passed my test after graduation. Anyone who breaks the rules and iron laws of the ninja world, we call him trash, but those who don't know how to value their companions are even worse than trash. Thank you, Naruto, for not letting my regrets continue to increase. Lunch boxes, futons, pillows, and rechargeable electric kettles, leaving these few things behind, Kakashi left. So, Mr. Kakashi knows everything, Master Hokage too. Ino said. Naruto opened the bento, and the smell of fried sori permeated the air. He devoured it hungrily, and said consciously, why don't you leave, don't you know what will happen next? You are here alone, you are very lonely, I will accompany you for a while, talk, chat, relieve boredom and so on. Ino said. With 9 tails here, I won't be alone. Naruto said. 9 tails is 9 tails, I am me, different. Ino said. The second person to visit Naruto is Jiraiya. From a personal standpoint, I understand you, from a village standpoint, I... Jiraiya sighed, and patted Naruto's shoulder lightly, if you need anything, just tell me. Money, I'm short of money. Naruto. How much is missing? Jiraiya. How many do you have? Naruto asked. What do you mean how much do I have? Jiraiya. How much do you have, how much do I lack? Naruto. Let me see, well, more than 6,000, I still need to drink, find a girl, find volunteers to help collect materials, come, here are 3,000 for you. Jiraiya. I mean your deposit. Naruto. Savings. Jiraiya laughed straight, do you think I look like someone who knows how to save money? When I get the money, I will spend it immediately. I don't want to wait until I die one day, regretting that I didn't spend all the money. Stingy. Naruto muttered. In the plot, Naruto accidentally saw Jiraiya's deposit book. It is not clear how much money there is, but there are a lot of zeros. Jiraiya froze and gave a dry laugh twice. It is true that I saved some money in my name. I kept it for the development of the village. I never used it myself. If you can become Hokage one day, I will definitely give it to you. Sister Tsunade is Hokage now, you didn't give it to her. Naruto was curious. Give it to her, I'm afraid it will be in vain. Jiraiya clicked her lips. The photo book of the beautiful girl, the novel written by myself, leaving these two, Jiraiya left. Naruto flipped through the photo book. Ino curled her lips and said, what's so good about it? In 2 or 3 years, when I grow up, I'll be prettier than them. If you stay here any longer, when your body cools down, you probably won't have a future. Naruto said casually. She's gone. 9 tails. Less than half an hour passed. Here she comes. 9 tails. Naruto. You really regard me as your home. You said before that you had to possess me casually. Now there is no task, let alone a fight. Naruto said. You listened to my pleading and you were imprisoned here to save little Sakura. I can't pretend not to know. Ino said. Besides companionship, I can't think of how to express my heart. I know that you and Hinata are engaged, and I know that if this goes on, there will be no return. At least for now, I like you. Before I meet someone new and I like, let me accompany you in this way. This is also a little willfulness of mine. Just then, the cell door opened. Little Sakura came in empty-handed, closed the door, grabbed Naruto who was sitting, pressed him against the wall, blushed slightly, and said loudly, I like you. Please aim for marriage. Date with me. Chapter 108. On Danzo's side, he received Hellstyle training. He didn't know the plot during this period, and thought Naruto was a single little Sakura, so he couldn't hold back anymore and came forward to confess his love. She is now a disciple of 5th Hokage, she will not become a traitor, and the distance from Naruto is no longer far away. Naruto. Put me down. Naruto said. Ah. Oh. Little Sakura was stunned, and subconsciously let go of Naruto. Did you go back and see Uncle Ant? Naruto asked. Yes. Little Sakura replied. That fake you. Naruto. After seeing me, she didn't say a word, just returned to her original form and left. Little Sakura. You are already a Jinchuriki now, the starting line has suddenly changed, and your future achievements will be even higher. Naruto said with emotion. It's okay. Little Sakura wondered, shouldn't she respond to her confession first? Isn't this topic going a little far? As for the tail beast, it's actually very easy to get along with, as long as you give your heart, then. Naruto Barabara shared a bunch of secrets about getting along with the tail beast. I asked 9 tails to help you greet 5 tails, after that, it's up to you, remember, use your heart, never treat it as a tool. Naruto said. Treat them as friends and comrades in arms. Little Sakura scratched her head, the content was not complicated, she could memorize it after listening to it once, but what puzzled her was, what about the response? Is there anything else? Naruto asked after sharing the Jinchuriki secret. Other things. Little Sakura thought for a while and said, no, I came here to confess my love to you. Then it's fine. Naruto said, time is money, especially for someone like you, who is talented and smart. Pay more attention to strength, and similar things will never happen again. In my situation, it's not suitable to send you off. You can go by yourself. Being sent out of the cell in a daze, little Sakura was at a loss, and looked back at Naruto, then my confession. Come on. Naruto said with a bright, sunny smile and clenched his fists. So, is this a yes or no? Little Sakura was confused, and wanted to say something more. Ino's voice appeared in the consciousness, details, I will explain to you, don't linger here, Hinata is here. Ino? Are you? Spiritualization. Little Sakura was surprised and turned her head to look at the same time. I saw Hinata, who was carrying a big bag, a small bag, and a suitcase, and was walking towards her sister Hanabi with the other hand. Ino is gone, said 9 tails. It's probably with little Sakura. The two of them are best friends. They have been away for a long time, so they must have a lot to talk about. Naruto's consciousness said. Then I'm leaving. Little Sakura asked. Well, goodbye. Naruto. Nodding to Hinata, the little Sakura left with question marks in her head, walked a distance, and turned around to see Naruto helping Hinata carry the bag and taking the 2 sisters into the cell. Thinking of something, she murmured, no way. I prepared a lot of things, I came late, wow. Hinata was startled when he noticed that there was a head in the corner with a bruised nose and a swollen face. Wow. Is this your brother-in-law's roommate? I see that everyone else is in the same room, why do you have a roommate? Hanabi asked curiously. I asked for it, Naruto said. There was a holiday before, and he plotted against me. It just so happens that I am idle, so I leave a sandbag here to play, which can relieve boredom, and it is a pleasure. Seeing that Hanabi opened his eyes, he was not afraid at all, Hinata blinked and also opened his eyes. Immediately saw that this was not a single human head, but a large living person, but it was buried in the ground. Looking at the difference between the buried place and the surrounding ground, it is not difficult to guess that it has been transformed by the Earth-style ninja method. South of Konoha village. The busiest and lively area. On the street, People come and go. On the bench by the side of the road, the little Sakura sat there blankly, not even noticing that the crepe in her hand fell to the ground. Fiancéed couple, Hinata's parents are so anxious. I'm only 12 years old, and I can't get married until I'm 18 at the earliest. What's the point of getting engaged so early? Is it because I'm afraid that Hinata won't be able to get married or that Naruto is too popular? Then I don't know, I also heard from Naruto. Ino said. And Naruto and Hinata, not only living together, sharing a bed, even more intimate things. Except for not doing the last step, basically it's all, oh. You didn't see it, how do you know? Little Sakura shook her head vigorously, unwilling to believe it. Who said I didn't see it, at that time? Ino said quietly, I'm right next to you. Little Sakura. Ino said that for the sake, she didn't want to believe it, but she had to believe it. And did. That's all for now. He. Little Sakura slumped on the bench and smiled weakly. Hateful. Damn Danzo. If it wasn't for him, I'd be able to confess my love before I got engaged, so there's still a chance. About this, you may be mistaken. Ino said, you think Naruto didn't respond to your confession purely because he was engaged to Hinata? Otherwise? Little Sakura asked back. He doesn't believe you like him at all, Ino said. I confessed it all. Such a serious confession. Little Sakura went crazy. Perhaps, he thinks you are just impulsive because of being a hero to save the beauty, maybe. Ino said. He knows everything, for the sake of Hinata, and in order not to change the friendship with you, he chooses to pretend not to understand. Konoha prison. Sitting on Hinata's freshly made bed, looking at the comparison manual, Hinata who was assembling the writing desk, Naruto said, I really don't need to come. No need. Hinata said. I should be the one to do these trivial things, including housework. I haven't learned it before, so I have to learn it from now on. This is also the homework that I, as a fiancé, should practice. Hanabi was squatting in the corner, playing with Mr. Mizuki with Naruto's shoes, and when she heard her sister talking about her fiancé, she couldn't help but think of the girl next to her brother-in-law. Brother-in-law, what did that pink-haired sister come to you just now, and what did she say? I think her state is a bit strange. Little Sakura, she came to confess to me. Naruto said. As soon as the words fell, Hinata fell to the ground with a plop. Naruto quickly got out of bed and helped her up. Are you all right? Are you injured? No, it's okay, Naruto-kun, you just said, confession, what confession? Hinata stammered. Think too much. Naruto laughed. Relax, little Sakura, she always likes Sasuke, even if she has more or less affection for me, in the end, she will choose Sasuke. This confession is probably because I saved her. After I calm down, it will naturally fade away. Don't take it seriously. I see. Hinata understood, and smiled embarrassedly. She is also a little too sensitive. Think about it carefully, if little Sakura really likes Naruto, and Naruto also likes little Sakura, where would there be anything about her? Naruto would not agree to get engaged. Chapter 109. After Hinata and Hanabi left, Naruto lay on his back on the bed, held an eyeball in his hand, looked closely and observed. This is the only loot for killing Danzo. The development funds are directly obtained from the two consultants, and all the income obtained by the root organization, except for the fixed salaries distributed to the subordinates, are all given to the consultants. In short, Danzo, who has the power to command Konoha's vast resources, is, by himself, penniless. This fits Danzo's personality. Emphasis on power, not money. It is also one of the reasons why Danzo can get the support of two consultants. Distinguished heavenly gods, known as the strongest single-body illusion, is even more terrifying than Tsukuyomi's damage-like illusion. Ignore the will of the subject, modify the will of the target without the target being aware of it, making it a puppet of the caster. Generally speaking, if you use it once, it will enter a cooling period of more than 10 years, but has chakra of first-generation Hashirama, but can shorten the cooldown period, and can be used again in a short time. Naruto pondered for a moment, gouged out his right eye, and put the Sharingan into the eye socket. Not Uchiha people, the result of implanting the Sharingan is that the Sharingan cannot be turned off, and the Sharingan is always kept open, constantly consuming chakra. Naruto, of course, is no exception. When chakra is full of vitality, the optic nerve is repaired, so that the eyes can establish a direct connection with themselves. Then, the chakra refining is not controlled by Naruto, the eyes are actively refining chakra, extracting chakra. The pitch-black pupils instantly turned crimson, and 3 hook jades were reflected in them. Naruto silently strengthens chakra consumption. The 3 hooks are connected to form a complete 4-edged shuriken pattern. At the same time, the usage of distinguished heavenly gods is reflected in my mind. Still cooling. Naruto thought to himself. This is not a problem. His chakra contains vitality comparable to first-generation Hashirama, which strengthens chakra consumption and can erase the cooling time in advance. The problem is pupil power. Mangekyou's pupil power is limited and cannot be replenished. Use a little or less, and when the pupil power is exhausted, this Mangekyo can be declared useless. No more use. According to the remaining pupil power, it may be used up to 3 times, maybe less than 3 times. Coming to this conclusion, Naruto changed his eyes back, used Flying Thunder God to send Sharingan to a shadow clone, and kept it hidden. 2. Up to 3 chances of distinguished heavenly gods. How to use it? The first thing that comes to mind is Jiraiya. The key to seal 9 tails is in Jiraiya's hand. Jiraiya is unwilling, so you can't get the key even if you kill him. Use distinguished heavenly gods on Jiraiya to get the key early. After unlocking the seal, according to 9 tails words and deeds, he will definitely be able to punch successfully and fully grasp the power of 9 tails. Kurama mode plus Sage mode is the complete Fairy Fox mode. Combat power, infinitely close to the 6 paths level. In the plot, when Naruto and Sasuke in the late stage join forces to fight against 6 paths Obito, Naruto is in this state. It feels a bit wasteful to use it like this. Naruto shook his head. Don't use distinguished heavenly gods, get along slowly, and he is confident that he can get the key from Jiraiya. The main reason is that mastering such a strong power in advance seems to be useless, and there is no imminent enemy. Compared with Jiraiya, who is originally his own camp, it's better to use distinguished heavenly gods on the enemy faction, to control those characters who are powerful, have special skills, and can bring him considerable benefits. Orochimaru. After removing Jiraiya's option, Naruto settled on Orochimaru without hesitation. I believe no one will question Orochimaru's excellence. Even putting aside Orochimaru's other advantages, Naruto would choose him for the half 9 tails in Shinigami's belly. The second candidate, my biggest difficulty right now is money. No money, not enough to support Hinata, hard to explain to father-in-law. Hinata also said that after eating full, she has strength, but it's hard to say, it's okay to eat full Tensagen. Even if I am hungry, I have to find a way to fill Hinata. When it comes to money, it is natural to think of a money fan, Kakuzu, who has lived for almost 100 years. Kakuzu said that he manages the money in the Akatsuki organization, but it seems that he is just a part-time worker and has no right to use it. Naruto frowned, dismissing the idea of controlling Kakuzu. As the leader of the Akatsuki organization, on the bright side, Nagato has Rinnegan with vast pupil power, which is much higher than Mangekyo. Whether distinguished heavenly gods can work is a big question mark. As the behind-the-scenes boss of the Akatsuki organization, Obito comes without a trace and goes without a trace. Compared with Nagato, the difficulty of control is only higher than that of Nagato. After calculating one by one, the only suitable candidate left is Konan. Naruto squinted. In the plot, the 600 billion detonators used by Konan to deal with Obito have a very problematic origin. Bought with Kakuzu's hard-earned money. Or Konan would make the detonators himself. Or maybe the combination of these two reasons created the horrifying figure of 600 billion. There is no way to study. In any case, managing Rain Shinobi Village is the only existence Nagato trusts, and Konan has the right to use the money in Akatsuki's organization. Controlling Konan is equivalent to controlling the money of the Akatsuki organization, which is a terrifying amount that may be worth hundreds of billions of detonating symbols. This matter, I have to think about it in the long run. In a blink of an eye, 2 days passed. Life in the cell was very comfortable. It was no different from the outside, but with Mizuki as a sandbag, he was beaten up from time to time to relieve boredom, and he was in a good mood. Happy. On this day, Naruto was exercising unshakably, when he suddenly heard footsteps approaching outside the door. The voice didn't sound like an acquaintance. He looked curiously. Outside the opened cell door, a woman was standing there dumbfounded. Seeing the chinin vest he was wearing and the incubator in his hand, Naruto subconsciously thought it was a staff member of the prison who came here to deliver meals. Mizuki. The woman screamed, dropped the insulation box, and hurried to Mizuki, who was hoisted up to serve as a sandbag. It hurts? Mizuki, who woke up from the pain, thought that Naruto's animal was going to fight again, and was distraught, until he saw who was coming. He suddenly said angrily. BD. Don't touch me. It hurts to death. I can't untie it. This vine is so hard, the woman said anxiously. You stupid woman. I told you not to touch me. You can't understand people's words, right? Mizuki twitched in pain, and became even more angry. It's a pity that his arms and legs were all bound to death by thorny vines, and he couldn't move, otherwise he really wanted to hit this stupid woman a few times. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, it looks familiar. Naruto tilted his head and rubbed his face. Care about Mizuki. Seeing that these two people seem very familiar. Suddenly, a ray of spiritual light rushed straight to the sky. Ah! I remembered. Isn't this someone? I forgot what it was called. She seems to be Mizuki's fiancé. Chapter 110. Hokage Office. Mizuki? Who is it? Tsunade thought suspiciously, without showing it on his face, and looked sideways at Shizune. It just so happens that Shizune, because of Naruto, has read Mizuki's ninja files recorded in Umbu, and knows Mizuki well. She leaned into Tsunade's ear, whispering. It is learned that Mizuki was locked up because he instigated Naruto to steal the sealed book. In a previous mission to capture the scroll, it was suspected that he killed his companions in order to complete the mission. Tsunade's eyes suddenly turned cold. How could she not be clear? If Umbu could use words like suspect to record it, she must have found some undeniable clues. I just don't know why the third generation project didn't dispose of Mizuki, but instead placed Mizuki in the ninja school. Because of Naruto. Tsunade mused. Get in touch. Naruto is the sealed book that Mizuki instructed to steal. It is not difficult to speculate why Mizuki, who has been confirmed by Umbu to have a problem with his conduct, can work in the ninja school. Knowing the cause and effect, Tsunade looked straight ahead with a lack of confidence, but for the sake of Mizuki, he mustered up the courage to come to her woman, Chietsubeki. Yes, Master Hokage. Chietsubeki stood at attention. Mizuki made a mistake and was imprisoned. It can be said that he deserved it. Tsunade said. All the treatment I receive in prison can be regarded as part of the punishment. I have no reason, let alone a position, to intervene. But, Mizuki was beaten so badly. His body was covered in bruises, and he was about to die. Chien-echun said anxiously. So miserable. Tsunade froze. Thinking that she hadn't visited Naruto yet, and looking at the pile of documents on the desk that made her head big, she thought about it, and suddenly got up. Go and have a look. Konoha prison. The cell where Naruto and Mizuki shared. Seeing being stopped by Chunin, he was very excited and strongly demanded to change the cell. Except for some holes in the prison uniform, Mizuki was alive and kicking. Tsunade said, is this what you said about being bruised and dying? How could it be? It was obvious before. Chietsubeki was stunned. This monster, he cured me. He just put me down and healed me. Mizuki said loudly. Hey, you can eat indiscriminately, but you can't talk indiscriminately. Naruto couldn't sit still, and said unfairly, I have never learned medical ninjutsu since I grew up. How can I treat you? BD. Am I blind? You clearly used medical ninjutsu just now. Mizuki roared. If I have learned even a little bit of medical ninjutsu, a meteorite will hit me to death immediately. Naruto paused every word. Okay, it's fine, just be honest and don't make trouble. Tsunade pretended to be impatient and turned to leave. Receiving a hint from Tsunade, Shizune took out a handful of kunao before leaving, pretending to be intimidating, be careful, don't make trouble. Naruto was stunned, that seemed to be his flying thunder god kunao, Shizune means. Master Hokage. Chietsubeki was at a loss. Knowing everything, Chunin, who is in charge of taking care of the place, watches his nose with his eyes and his heart with his nose. Seeing fifth generation turn a blind eye, he knew what to do, it's time to visit, please come back tomorrow at the earliest. Don't go. Change the cell for me. I want to change the cell. Mizuki broke down and said anxiously. Boom. The cell door was closed and locked from the outside. There's a monster on the left, and a monster on the right. It's very funny, you. Naruto said with a smile on his face, his mouth twitching. What do you want to do? Don't come here. Mizuki retreated to the corner, terrified. Naruto snapped his finger bones, stepped forward, left uppercut, right uppercut, uppercut, all in one breath. Then use wood style to make vines full of thorns and thorns, tie Mizuki firmly, and hang them up. Ah! Mizuki's screams spread in all directions, making the listeners shudder like cicadas. Half an hour later. South of Konoha village. In the card room of an izakaya. With a flash of golden light, Naruto, who appeared out of nowhere, sat on the seat and saw Tsunade enjoying a drink. He lowered his head, looked serious, and looked like a good baby. Already paired with appetizers, Tsunade drank 2 large bottles of wine, his face flushed a little, and he felt very happy, casually said, how is your self-control? Self-control? Naruto thought for a moment. It depends on the situation. Things that touch my bottom line, things that violate my 3 views, things that are absolutely unacceptable, I can't control them, and I won't restrain myself. In other words, won't hold back. Tsunade asked. I work hard to be strong, not for tolerance, but for no regrets, no regrets. Naruto said. It can be seen that you are very assertive. I have nothing to say, just 2 points. Tsunade said. First, the strong are within the scope of the weak. Second, in a system like Konoha, respect the teacher, respect the master, and respect Hokage. That's all for now, I hope you think about it carefully. Naruto made a mudra with one hand, activated Flying Thunder God to leave, and came back soon, using the extra pen and paper in his hand, to write down what Tsunade said word by word. Read it again, I remember and will meditate on it. Tsunade froze for a moment, then laughed dumbly, UBD. I've said everything I need to say. Go back. For the next 5 years, you will stay in prison and accept reform with a correct attitude. Considering your special situation, you are specially allowed to send Shadow Clone to go outside. Note that it is Shadow Clone who goes outside. Well, the one outside must be Shadow Clone. Naruto said seriously. Seeing that Naruto understood what he meant, Tsunade smiled, thought of something again, and said, by the way, you can fight that Mizuki, but you can't kill him. Free labor, it's a pity to kill it. Living can also contribute to the construction of the village. This is called making the best use of everything. With a flash of golden light, Naruto, who returned to the cell, opened the notebook. The strong are within the scope of the weak. Shaking his head and putting it next to the pillow, Naruto sat cross-legged and greeted Nine Tails, then closed his 5 senses and practiced spiritualization. The next day, Chietsubeki is here again. Also coming is Iruka. He is a good old man, he came here just after being asked, and said awkwardly, well, Naruto, can Mizuki be spared? He was just confused for a moment and did something wrong, his nature is not bad. Naruto looked at Iruka, and then looked at Chietsubeki who was hiding behind Iruka, who dared not look at him. Consciously, he said to Ino who was possessed again, can you make someone tell the truth? To be honest, it can be done with hypnosis. Ino said. The target's will is not firm enough, and they don't have the ability to resist or deal with illusions. Hypnosis can ask for all information. Then, please, hypnosis Mizuki. Naruto said. Chapter 111. Hey, you have found the right person. Ino said. Ever since I combined the spiritualization technique with my family's secret transmission, and had the magical effect of possession, I have often found people to gain experience. Especially Teacher Hong's illusion, not to mention extremely good, comparable to Teacher Hong, definitely surpassing Chunin's level. Look at mine. Taking over Naruto's body, Ino clasped his hands together, refined chakra, aimed at Mizuki, and launched hypnosis. Experience rubbing? What experience rubbing? Naruto wondered. In the possessed state, the 5 senses are connected, and the ninjutsu used by the other party is equivalent to my use. Ino explained. You seem to be taking advantage of someone else's cultivation, and I possess you. You don't need me to take the initiative to do anything, and you can learn about the other party's methods and skills. Once born, twice acquainted, if you come a few more times, you will naturally become familiar with it. Naruto. Okay, hypnosis is successful, and the India in hand still needs to maintain hypnosis, and it cannot be separated. Remember the direction of chakra. Ino. Well, remember. Naruto. Ino let go of his grip on the body, Naruto regained control, and chakra connected well without interruption. At this time, Mizuki's face was dull, his eyes were drooping, and his eyes were dull, as if he had lost his soul. Naruto. Iruka was helpless. Even if Mizuki once hurt you, he has already become like this, why should he not let you go? Chien-echun was helpless. Naruto said to Mizuki, Iruka, what do you think of him? Iruka. Mizuki said blankly. The most hateful, the most damned. Incompetent, cowardly, trash-like existence. Nowhere is as good as me, but to be able to become an official ninja school teacher must have used some dirty means. Iruka. Chietsubeki. What do you think of your fiancé? Naruto asked. Stupid woman. Mizuki said blankly. I believe everything I say, and I am obedient, so I can take advantage of it temporarily. When I turn to Lord Orochimaru and gain great power, I can leave her behind. She is not self-motivated, satisfied with the status quo, and only cooks for me, she is not good enough for me. Chietsubeki. Iruka. How? Do you want to speak for him? Naruto asked. No way. How could it be? Mizuki. Chietsubeki couldn't bear the blow, rolled her eyes and passed out on the ground. Mr. Iruka, is it time to be in a daze now? Hurry up and send him to the hospital. Naruto was speechless. Iruka came back to his senses, and belatedly found Chietsubeki passed out. With a numbed face and not knowing what to say, he stiffly picked up Chietsubeki and left. Tell me, in this case, will she give up on Mizuki, or remain infatuated? Naruto asked Ino. That's it, the love of 100 years is about to wake up. Ino was speechless. Actually, I'm very similar to Mizuki, with eyes higher than the top, looking down on others. Naruto said. It's useless to blackmail yourself, unless you let me hypnosis, let me hear your truth in that way. Ino said. If you really look down on me from the bottom of your heart, then I will give up immediately and never have anything to do with you again. Okay, come on. Naruto was eager to try. Come on, with 9 tails here, you are not afraid of illusions at all, when the time comes, who knows if you are pretending to deceive me. Ino said. You're a puppy, 9 tails, don't help me. Naruto said. If you want to try, use the current possession method, and then let little Sakura be in charge of hypnosis, ask questions, dare you? Ino said. Naruto. Let the little Sakura ask, isn't it possible to tell her own thoughts and can't hide it? Besides, without the help of 9 tails, if hypnosis really told the truth, how could he pretend to be a fake, which made Ino give up? Ale, why don't you speak? You are guilty. Ino discovered the new land. I won't ask you about other privacy, but just ask how you feel about me. What are you guilty of? Could it be, you actually like me? Speaking of which, Ino's heart beat faster. She remembered what Nine Tails had said to her earlier. As the first girl who expressed her love to Naruto earlier than Hinata, she occupies a place in Naruto's heart. You think too much. Naruto was speechless. I want to practice, and you have been with me for a while, go back quickly. She's gone, said Nine Tails. Yamanaka House. Ino's boudoir. Lying quietly on the bed, Ino, like a sleeping beauty, suddenly opened his eyes. It's not wrong. I'm not unrequited. Naruto likes me too. No matter how bad he is, he has a good impression of me. Will reject me because he chose Hinata. Really? Does Naruto like me too? Hee. Ha ha ha. Happy. Rolling around on the bed. Overwhelmed with elation, extreme joy turned into sorrow, and accidentally rolled off the bed. Ino hugged the back of his head, curled up into a ball in pain. So, calm down. But, it's too late to say anything, isn't it? Ino sighed, feeling very sad, regretting that he didn't get in touch with Naruto earlier, and didn't like Naruto earlier. More than a month passed without knowing it. Chietsubeki never came again. Naruto is not idle and has nothing to do, so naturally he will not pay too much attention. Physical exercise is a basic skill, and it takes years and years of persistence to see the effect, so there is no rush. Thanks to Ino's help, guidance, and mastery of spiritualization, Naruto can also leave the body and attack souls. It also has the ability to perceive the soul, which is the passive effect of the spiritualization technique. With it, it is easy to distinguish the main body from the clone, and achieve precise strikes. After all, your double is a chakra creation and has no soul. The nature transformation of the 5 types of chakra has been mastered. Now, the number of shadow clone on the back mountain has been reduced to 100. Part of it continues to practice to avoid unfamiliarity. Moreover, practice makes perfect, and you may be able to go further. Part of this is developing new raise non-usages. The last dozen or so shadow clones form a think tank, thinking about tactics and ways to make money. More shadow clone, Naruto are sent out of the village, looking for Orochimaru, trying to trick Konan, and a way to make money. The words of the branch housemaid came true. Hinata's food intake increased instead of decreasing, to 6 meals a day, and the daily expenses amounted to 3 to 400,000. This is Naruto himself going to the wilderness, reclaiming the land, and using the vitality of wood style to grow medicinal materials, vegetables, food, etc. Sent shadow clone to build a farm and learn to herd cattle and sheep. And a group of shadow clones that specialize in fishing. And so on. A lot of expenses have been reduced, otherwise, the daily expenses may not be close to 1 million. Who can blame this? He insisted that Hinata not only have enough to eat, but also eat well, the best in everything, and the pressure kept rising. This day, the 7th class received a high-level task and had to go to a movie beforehand. Naruto, who was practicing squats, took the movie ticket from Shadow Clone, and got the memory of Shadow Clone. This is Chapter 112. Stage name, Fujifuukie. Real name, Fenghuazioxu. Well-known actress. The future daimyo of the Snow Country. Such a person must be very rich, right? Although making money is to support Hinata, I can't spend most of my energy and time on money. Strength is the most important thing. Naruto secretly thought. It would be best if he could share the pressure and burden of making money, so that he could free up time and concentrate on becoming stronger. Orochimaru comes with a lot of people and is a source of fast money. Konan's control is successful, and it is also a money printing machine. Enough? Who would think that there is too much money, the more the better. Thinking about how to get more benefits from Fenghuazioxu, Naruto settled down and insisted on completing the prescribed amount of training. Leaving a shadow clone in the cell to pretend to be the main body, and he himself left here as a shadow clone. Go home and tell Hinata. Daily necessities, a change of clothes, etc., you don't have to bother to bring them. There is Flying Thunder God. Naruto usually goes home to sleep at night and eats at home. Arrived at the assembly point, little Sakura was already there, but Sasuke and Kakashi were not seen. Sasuke is going home to pack his things. In Kakashi's words, after throwing down the movie tickets and letting the 3 of them go to a town near Konoha to watch a movie, he ran away, and he didn't know where he went. Morning. Naruto greeted. Morning. Little Sakura responded. How's it going with 5 tails? Naruto. It has a good temper, and according to the method you provided, I gave it my heart, and I got its approval and learned its real name. Little Sakura said. It turns out that tailed beasts have names, and the numbers are just what people call them. Sorry, I didn't get its consent. I can't tell you what it's called. You can call it 5 tails. Naruto. 5 tails has a good temper. 5 tails is not Tsundere. 9 tails, look at them. Is there anything else besides the name? Naruto asked. Yeah, fist fight, my right hand and its right hand, or right hoof. Little Sakura said. Like this, when we are together, and when we are fisting, it tells me its real name. Sealed space. Naruto consciousness, standing in front of Nine Tails, without saying a word, stare. Nine Tails flicked his tail unnaturally, coughing dryly, Kurama, my name is Kurama. Naruto raised his right fist. No, this won't work. You haven't broken the seal yet. I agreed to wait for you to break the seal, and I'll give you another gift. Nine Tails shook her head. Believe it or not, I will cry for you. Naruto said. We've only been together for a long time, and we've been in touch with each other so quickly. As for us, we've been in a relationship for more than 10 years, and you're still hiding from me. I'm crying, I'm really going to cry. Nine Tails. With the seal in place, it's useless for me to punch you. Nine Tails said. The chakra I can overflow is limited, and the chakra you can take is also limited, and it doesn't improve you much, you. Naruto's eyes were moist and teary in an instant. Nine Tails. In silence, the right fists of both sides stuck together. Nine Tails had long recognized Naruto in his heart, but it was because of his arrogance, and wanted to wait for a suitable opportunity to give Naruto his power as a gift. Well now. Ripples visible to the naked eye with Naruto and Nine Tails as the center, wash away. Chakra has the power of heart to heart. No matter what the external conditions are, they can perfectly integrate each other's strengths through heart to heart, creating an effect where 1 + 1 is greater than 2. And it is far greater than 2. Outside world. Little Sakura was still talking, when suddenly, the eyes were filled with golden light. Naruto turned into a statuette. The whole body is covered with golden chakra, even on the chest and arms, there is a pattern of hook jade, and the pattern of 8-sign seal appears on the abdomen. It's fleeting. In the blink of an eye, Naruto was back to normal again. That was just now. Little Sakura wondered. Its power. Naruto pointed to his stomach and said. Sealed space. Is this what you mean by not much improvement? Naruto raised his forehead in consciousness. Nine Tails chakra mode. Chakra turned from red to golden. The tail disappears. Within a certain range, the speed can catch up with fourth Raikage, which is second only to Kurama mode, and there is no doubt about its strength. If it is combined with chakra, the two are superimposed, and the strength can be raised to a higher level. From now on, Naruto will use Nine Tails chakra again. When the amount is small, it will still be red. Once the amount reaches a certain range, it will appear in the form of golden on. In the plot, Naruto only has this mode after experiencing a series of processes such as real waterfalls, fighting with Nine Tails, and tug of war. At the moment, he skipped many steps, and through fisting with Nine Tails, he was recognized by Nine Tails and directly owned. Knowing how good Kurama is, I like it very much, and open my heart to get in touch with it. This is the benefit of knowing the plot, foresight. Kurama. Naruto. Hi. Kurama lay on his stomach, without raising his eyelids, and spoke through his nasal cavity. Kurama. Naruto. What? Kurama opened one eye. Very happy, me. Naruto smiled brightly. Kurama was taken aback. I wanted to get used to a sneer, and then pretended to say a few words in an understatement as a person who came here and had a lot of experience. Thinking of the success of the fist fight just now, each other's minds are closely connected, and the feeling is very clear. Naruto, indeed accepts it sincerely, likes it, loves it, it seems that there is no need to hide himself anymore, no need to. Many ideas were dropped one after another. Kurama smiled lightly and shook his head, with unprecedented tenderness and peace in his eyes, he looked directly at Naruto who was much smaller than him, I am also very happy. Without waiting too long, Sasuke arrived with all his things, and the three of them left the village together, heading for the destination Kakashi had set. Participating in this task personally is to open up a new source of funds from Fenghuaxiaoxu. I never thought that from Tsundere Kurama, I could get the real name and fist fight in advance. In the true sense, there is no distinction between each other, and a heart-to-heart bond. Even if the source of funds cannot be successfully developed, Naruto is satisfied with this harvest alone. Ishine is not interested in movies, Ishine puts it on practice, and only wants to become stronger. Sasuke glanced at him strangely, and Naruto, who is standing upside down on the ceiling like him, is exercising. What did you pick up, happy like this? Wait. Exercise. Shadow Clone does not need to exercise, but to practice is to practice chakra control, or nature transformation, ninjutsu and other things. Since this Naruto is exercising, that is to say, this is not Shadow Clone, but Naruto's body. Naruto, I can already fight back and forth with Kakashi who doesn't use Sharingan. Sasuke said. Do you dare to fight with me without the state in the Death Forest? Chapter 113. What did you say? Naruto froze. Sasuke repeats. Now? Naruto asked. You don't seem to care much about this movie, it doesn't matter whether you watch it or not. Sasuke said. If there are clues related to the mission in the movie, there is little Sakura here, so I won't miss it. Right now. Okay then. After greeting little Sakura, Naruto grabbed Sasuke's shoulder, formed Mudra with one hand, Flying Thunder God, and jumped out of thin air to the mountain behind Konoha. Flying Thunder God technique. Sasuke thought to himself. Glancing over his shoulder, he didn't see the mark, and then looked around, noting all the places where there were marks. He took out a handful of kunao from his ninja bag and bit it with his teeth. Take out several more shurikens, on which are connected slender and hard to distinguish steel wires. The pupils instantly turned crimson, and there were 2 hook jades reflected in them. I'm ready, I can start anytime. To be fair, you announce it. Sasuke said. Sharingan is still a double hook jade, but its aura has been enhanced a lot. After Naruto observed it, he formed a seal and launched an illusion to deceive himself and forget the sense of crisis. I'm ready too, so 3, 2, 1. Start. About 14 minutes later. Sasuke fell to the ground exhausted, smiled bitterly and said unwillingly, he, what the hell am I doing? What exactly is missing? Already so desperately, he forgot to eat and sleep in training, looking for people to learn from each other, fighting, and honing his fighting skills. This not only failed to beat Naruto, but the gap seems to be even bigger. Hateful. At this moment, the unwillingness to be inferior to Naruto and lose to Naruto surpasses the hatred for Itachi and the obsession with revenge. This Hind state perfectly fits Indra's unwillingness to lose to Hashirama. You can lose to anyone, but you can't lose to Hashirama. Silence lies in the deepest part of Sasuke. It is impossible to say whether it is the body or the soul, there is no subjective consciousness, only Indra Chakra with the will to compete with Hashirama. Make waves. Plop. Sasuke suddenly felt a force surge in his body, up to his eyes. The Sharingan, which could not be opened due to the exhaustion of chakra, appeared automatically, and at the moment of appearance, it evolved from a double hook jade to a triple hook jade. It didn't end, the 3 jade hooks turned quickly, and finally, they joined together and turned into a pattern similar to a 6-edged shuriken. Naruto. What happened? Sasuke was at a loss. A purple translucent skeleton phantom, looming, surrounded Sasuke to protect him, and the skull roared silently at Naruto. Unlike Sasuke, who is still sensing, not aware of Indra Chakra, Naruto activated Ashura Chakra because he signed in Hamura Chakra. Although he could not control it, he could actually sense it. At this moment, Naruto keenly felt that the Ashura Chakra, which was constantly nourishing his body slowly, suddenly shook. Seems like a response to Indra. Behind him, 9 truth-seeking ball phantoms appeared, and even a small Senjo Buddha phantom appeared, staring at the skeleton without sadness or joy. The phantom existed for about 5 seconds before disappearing at the same time. Sasuke stood up again, looked at his hands, and made a fist. I don't know what happened, but I feel great now. Sharingan's pupil power has never been so abundant, is it advanced? Chakra has also been supplemented. The battle continues. Naruto, who was observing the Ashura Chakra in his body, was silent for a moment, asked Kurama for some natural energy, and entered Sage mode. Come on. The fierce battle lasted for nearly half an hour, but it still ended when Sasuke was exhausted and fell to the ground. Sasuke. Aren't you tired? Not panting, not even sweating. Sasuke said weakly. Zyanja Chakra is like this, the more you fight, the more energetic you are. Naruto said. Senjutsu Chakra, what is that? Sasuke said. A chakra that is refined using natural energy, explains Naruto. Facing the hand that Naruto offered, Sasuke hesitated for a moment, raised his hand to hold it, and stood up with Naruto's strength. After listening to Naruto explaining what the magic chakra is, and knowing where to learn it, Sasuke left on his own. Where are you going? There are tasks. Naruto said. Go ahead, I don't have time. Sasuke said without looking back. Knowing that Sasuke would not care about the task evaluation to promote Jonin, so that it was an important indicator to promote Jonin, Naruto did not persuade him anymore. Watching Sasuke go away and disappear from sight, he formed a mudra with one hand, locked on the flying thunder god Kunao left behind by little Sakura, and disappeared out of thin air. Little Sakura, who was enjoying watching the movie, was startled by the sudden appearance of Naruto. Hi? Where's Sasuke? He said he didn't have time, and it seems that he wants to continue practicing. Naruto said. Oh. Little Sakura understood. By the way, little Sakura is also standing upside down on the ceiling, which is to integrate practice into daily life. Idiot, idiot, idiot. Sakura yelled. Who is stupid to say, scold Danzo if you want to. If it's not him, I will definitely confess my love before the engagement. Little Sakura, who was calm on the surface, said angrily in her heart. Danzo-sama is not wrong, he is for our own good. Ri Sakura. You are enough, don't mention that person to me again, I will get angry if you mention that person. Little Sakura was annoyed. After all, it's your fault. You've been hesitating and procrastinating. Naruto and Hinata are together. You have to take full responsibility. Ri Sakura. Didn't you also agree? You are also afraid of being rejected, and now it's all up to me, and you want to fight and speak up. Little Sakura. Come on. Ri Sakura. That being said, how do you fight between personality and personality? We can only continue to quarrel and shirk responsibility from each other. It's really lively. Five Tails Kokuo said with emotion. Such a special Jinchuriki, which I have only seen in my life, is quite interesting, at least not boring, much better than the previous boring gourd. The nearly 2-hour movie has finished playing. The two came to an open area nearby and waited for Kakashi. Naruto's mind was full of the picture of Sasuke opening Mangekyo, thinking about the reason. Little Sakura and Sakura are constantly bickering. There was no embarrassment because of the quiet atmosphere. What broke the silence was the sound of fast horses. Naruto came back to his senses, heard the sound and looked. Soon, Fuka Koyuki, who was acting as an actress under the stage name of Fuji Fuxui, rode a white horse, leaped into view, and galloped past in front of her. No way! Wind! Princess Fenjiun! Little Sakura said in a daze. Followed by a group of armored people, riding horses, chasing after. Little Sakura, these people behind, please. Naruto said, jumped up to the high place, and with a few flashes, he overtook Fenghua Zyuxu. Zyuxu, who was running away on horseback, suddenly felt that she was caught by the collar, and she was lifted off the horse's back by an irresistible force. Immediately, there was a blur in front of my eyes, and when I saw it clearly, I was already on the edge of a cliff with a glimpse of all the small mountains. Zyuxu. Chapter 114. Shadow Clone is active outside and has a habit. That is, every time you go to a new place, you will leave the Flying Thunder God mark in a place that is not easy to find, touch, or erase. Or high mountains, or overseas isolated islands, or bustling towns. At this time, Naruto stood on the edge of the cliff and looked down, aiming at a barren mountain with no trace of life. When you think about it, turn on Nine Tails Chakra mode. The golden chakra, shining like the sun, covers the whole body. Then use the natural energy taken from Kurama to extract a certain amount of magic chakra and enter Sage mode. This is Naruto's current strongest state, surpassing the 5 cages, and there is still a big gap with the 6 paths level. Zyunshu chakra, after the nature transformation of the wind, quickly took shape, increasing the output of chakra, and the scale of the spiral shuriken also increased. Finally, add Kurama's chakra to it, pay attention to the ratio. What is this? Sage Art, Ultra, Odama, Tailed Beast, Wind Style, Spiral Shuriken. Thinking about it, Naruto moved towards the selected barren mountain. Throw away. The enhanced version of the ear-piercing scream, the Spiral Shuriken, turned into a small dot in sight, sinking into the barren mountain. Immediately afterwards, a deafening explosion resounded through the air. Endless light and heat are bursting out, and the not-so-small barren hills are evaporated and annihilated in the process. Zyuxu. After a while, a berserk shock wave swept across her, blinding her eyes, and she had to get down, otherwise, she might be blown away. After the wind calmed down, Zyuxu slowly raised her head. The goal is a large group of frightened birds, scrambling to fly high into the sky, and the animals in the nearby mountains are also fleeing to the distance. In the center, where the barren mountain should have been, there was nothing there, but it was completely flattened, leaving a crater. Zyuxu. How is it powerful? Naruto asked. Zyuxu didn't answer in silence, her mind was like that paste, so confused that she even thought it was a dream. Didn't she escape on horseback? Why did he suddenly come to such a place? There was also a boy who blasted a mountain with unbelievable strength, and asked her inexplicably if it was over. I said, is it serious, give me a reaction. Naruto said. Severe, powerful. Zyuxu said stiffly. Have you ever met someone stronger than me? Naruto continued. Zyuxu shook her head. You are the person in our dreams, in reality, who can be as powerful as you. Okay. Naruto sat down cross-legged with a smile, reached into the ninja bag, and took out a pen and paper. Swish swish swish. I wrote a bunch of things on it, then tore it off, handed it to Zyuxu, and motioned her to take a look. Unable to tell whether this is reality or a dream, Zyuxu, who is more inclined to dream, took a deep breath, implying that she had nothing to fear, took it over, and glanced at it. Contract. Zyuxu raised her eyebrows. It roughly means that the yellow-haired boy in front of her will protect her and help her defeat all enemies. The price she had to pay was 95% of all income, and circled all of these 2 words to indicate that they were the key points. If there is no problem, sign it. Naruto said. 95%, huh, is this treating me as a slave? Zyuxu remained expressionless. Slaves don't get a penny. Naruto said, besides, this is under discussion. If you think it is inappropriate, you can give your opinion. 20% at most. Zyuxu said. That's too little, the shelter from the strong, where can you find a strong man like me who is always on call? 80%, no less. Naruto said. 35%, you are indeed very strong, but it is too unrealistic to say that you are on call. Zyuxu said. 75%, I said, it can be done naturally, you don't have to worry about it, if I can't do it, you don't have to pay. Naruto said. Suddenly, Naruto moved his nose, but he smelled something, his eyes moved down, and he saw Zioxu's skirt was wet a little. Did I scare you? Sorry. Zioxu knew what was going on without looking down, so she patted it casually, folded the non-wet part beside it, tucked it in, and wrote lightly, "Don't worry, let's go back to the topic you just said. 40%, this is my bottom line. After being an actor for so many years, I have never signed a contract with more than this amount. This is the quality of a powerful actor." Mount Tai collapsed in front of him without changing his face. Naruto stood in awe. If this situation were changed to him, I don't know what kind of embarrassment he would be. As a girl, he can be so indifferent. Okay, 40 is 40. Originally, the price range Naruto wanted was 40 to 50. The purpose of raising it so high was just to deal with bargaining, and now the result perfectly meets his requirements. Rewrite 2 contracts, the content remains the same, the price is adjusted to 40%, both parties sign, and each person gets a share. 20 minutes later. Shopping mall. Single bathroom. Feng Hua Zioxu, who had changed into a new outfit, covered her face and sat on the toilet seat, trying to dig a hole to bury herself in, never to see anyone again. That guy. Zioxu gritted her teeth. He took out the crude contract and wanted to tear it up, hesitating and not being ruthless. If it's not a dream, then he really has the power to collapse a mountain with one blow. The wind, flowers, and raging waves, as well as those snow ninjas who followed him, absolutely have no ability to resist such forces. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been living overseas forever, and the snow country, far away from the mainland, would have called here long ago. His goal is very clear, he just wants money, maybe, and me. No, there is no such thing in the contract, which proves that he only needs money. Zioxu narrowed her eyes. Money. Hand washing. Get out of the bathroom. Naruto was waiting for her outside. Suppose one day, someone offered more money and asked you to betray me, what would you do? Qian Tu, who has been in control of the Land of Snow for 10 years, must surpass her as an actress. If Naruto is the type who loves money like his life, then going back to the Snow Country is tantamount to courting death, and she must find a way to escape. I'll kill that guy and grab his money. Naruto said. Zioxu closed her eyes and remained silent for a long time, and the corners of her mouth gradually curled into a beautiful arc. It's a happy cooperation. There is no need to escape anymore. Zioxu can't wait to rush to Snow Country immediately. Although she is weak, with this boy around, the person who should be afraid and avoid is the raging waves. Happy cooperation. Naruto held Zioxu's right hand and said, followed by making madras with his left hand. With a blur in front of her eyes, Zioxu lowered her head and bent over when she realized that she had already returned to the set. I'm causing trouble for everyone. After that, I will do my duty and do my job well. I won't run around anymore, so. Earliest, when can we leave? Chapter 115. Into the night. Konoha village. Naruto's house. Naruto, who came back at mealtime, washed his hands, sat down, picked up the bowls and chopsticks, and enjoyed the food made and cooked by Hinata on the table. Naruto's shadow clone is in charge of Hinata's meal, because there are too many, and one person can't be busy. Naruto and Hanabi's meals are cooked by Hinata. It is also to integrate practice into life, wear an appropriate amount of weight, and cooperate with chakra in every move. Physical exercise and chakra control are both correct. Naruto, who was the first to finish eating, was in no hurry to leave. While picking his teeth with a toothpick, he talked about Fenghua Zioxu. The second Hanabi, who finished eating, went to wash his own dishes, returned to the bedroom, and devoted himself to the theoretical knowledge of Flying Thunder God. To avoid being distracted by external objects, she wears earplugs. Knowing what Naruto did all this for, Hinata put down the bowl and chopsticks, rubbed his flat belly, and said hesitantly. It's as if something is about to be filled. It's always close, just close. This feeling is getting stronger and stronger. I don't know what will happen when I fill that thing up, but I think I won't be able to eat like this anymore. Is that so? Hearing Hinata say that for the first time, Naruto pondered. He had actually thought about this question a lot. He also has Hamura Chakra, why not like Hinata, you can eat so much. Listening to Hinata's description again, it seems that her Hamura Chakra has a shortfall that needs to be filled by supplementation the day after tomorrow. Reminiscent of the perfect affixes of Hashirama cells, the ability to sign in with the sign-in system, and the optimized effect, Naruto thought deeply. In this way, the Hamura Chakra he signed in is an optimized, or complete version. And Hamura Chakra, who is wearing Hinata, is a semi-complete body, which leads to Hinata's amazing appetite. What was the cause of the previous 2 white-eyed transformations? What was your state at that time? Naruto said. That. Hinata thought for a while and said, just thinking about your encouragement and trust, I want to follow in your footsteps, stand by your side, and then practice hard. Naruto mused. Today, I witnessed the scene where Sasuke triggered Indra Chakra and directly opened Mangekyo Sharingan, which gave him a great shock. trying to figure out the cause and effect relationship. If feasible, it means that he can also guide the power of Ashura and Hamura in advance. Sasuke's state at the time was obviously out of unwillingness to lose. Since Indra Chakra can be induced, the object is me, there must be an inseparable connection, because I have Ashura Chakra. The reason why Indra wants to start the eternal battle is that he is not reconciled to losing to Ashura. He wants to prove himself or resist his father's choice. The conclusion is an emotion as strong as ultimate, which resonates with Indra Chakra. Hinata said that her state before the white eyes transformed was my encouragement and trust, including wanting to catch up with me and stand by my side. What does this have to do with Hamura? Could it be that Hamura has the same mentality? Is it Yuyi's encouragement and trust, or is it simply that Hamura wants to catch up with Yuyi and stand by Yuyi's side? Maybe one more factor is to be recognized. Hinata wants to be recognized by me, Hamura wants to be recognized by Yuyi, or be recognized by Kagaya. Ashura Chakra, half Yuyi, one part Kagaya, Hinata is targeting me, it's possible that it will resonate with Hamura Chakra. The conclusion is similar, it is the emotion strong enough to ultimate, which arouses the sympathy of Hamura Chakra. If that's the case, how can I implement it? Naruto kneaded between his eyebrows. What are the emotions of Ashura Chakra? Love? Fetters? It's impossible to refuse to admit defeat, right? Ashura is the winner, the winner. Hamura Chakra, with Naruto's current strength, will not have a goal to catch up with, let alone gain anyone's approval. And within a limited range, it is very likely that Sasuke must be targeted. If I'm right, Hinata, the transformation of the white eyes is closely related to your mentality. Naruto said. It has to be ultimate, intense. Is it like this? Hinata was stunned, wondering why. Then what should I do? Now that I have caught up with you and am still with you successfully, it's hard to have that mentality anymore. Catched up with me? Naruto was dumbfounded. Isn't it? Hinata wondered. I'm doing okay with 3 tails, there's no lack of chakra, it's at full strength, but it's so strong that I can't believe it. Even if it's not as good as you, it won't be much worse. Come on, finish your meal first, and then take a rest. Naruto said, I'll take you to a place later, and let you see how big the difference is. A deserted island located overseas. Hinata used the repulsive force to float in midair, and her soft voice sounded in the strong wind. Naruto-kun, with this repulsive field, you can't get close to me. All ninjutsu has no effect on me. In turn, I can draw your chakra remotely. Don't try, okay? I always believe that you are the strongest. Your words are more like comforting me. You don't want to see me lose and fall into depression. Naruto smiled helplessly. His mind was punctured. Hinata quickly shook his head and explained, no. It doesn't matter if it's true, if you're really better than me, I'll be happier, that means I can save a few years of struggle. Naruto said. Really? Hinata was taken aback. A few years less struggle means that Naruto does not have to practice so hard, and can enjoy happiness with peace of mind? Thinking of this, Hinata's eyes and attitude suddenly became very serious. Since you said so, Naruto-kun, then. Take the chakra of 3 tails, and the momentum suddenly rises. I'll do my best. Promise me that you won't be depressed when you lose. Naruto nodded. Kurama, I want a lot of natural energy. It's already ready. Kurama. Naruto clasped his hands together, the quality and quantity are both extremely terrifying chakra, and suddenly burst out, sage art, wood style, true several thousand hands. The island, the first to bear the pressure, collapsed and sank. The waves churned violently. Under the reaction force, Hinata, who kept retreating, opened her small mouth slightly, raised her head, and looked up at this giant Buddha, which was countless times larger than 3 tails, in a sitting position with countless giant hands behind it. The 3 views have been subversively impacted. Suddenly, the Buddha stretched out his right hand and grabbed Hinata. Even Kurama can be picked up with one hand. For Hinata, it can be described as overwhelming. What? The repulsive force can't stand it. Hinata changed his face. Not an order of magnitude at all. The big hand broke through the repulsive field forcefully and grabbed Hinata directly. From it, a small wooden dragon without thorns and thorns splits out, wraps around Hinata, and draws her chakra. Chapter 116. Hinata tried to resist. Invalid. Chakra was all taken away by the wooden dragon, and the white eyes could not be maintained, and then closed. The chakra borrowed from 3 tails will be drawn immediately before being used. Even if she could break free from the shackles of the wooden dragon, she couldn't think of a way to deal with this mountain-like bergamot. So far, the winner has been divided. Was seconded? Unable to recover for a while, Hinata was stunned until Naruto appeared in front of him. Naruto, Mr. Naruto seal. The thornless wooden dragon binding Hinata, let go. Catching the exhausted chakra and exhausted Hinata, with one hand on his shoulder and the other hand with the seal of Flying Thunder God, he returned home in Konoha village in an instant. There is Hanabi studying hard in the bedroom, so it is not easy to disturb him, so he just put it gently on the tatami in the living room. As far as I know, there are plenty of people who can kill me instantly, and I will not relax, and I will not stop my progress. Naruto said. Learning is endless, there are people beyond others, and there are still mountains as high as one mountain. Thinking of what he said earlier, and believing that he is better than Naruto, surpassing Naruto, Hinata blushed and covered it with his hand, looking at Naruto ashamed. During the mission, I won't be resting at home. After you finish your meal at 9 o'clock, go to bed early. After finishing speaking, Naruto bowed his head. Lips. On Hinata's smooth forehead, I printed it. Then leave with Flying Thunder God. Hinata separated her fingers, seeing that Naruto had left, she tried her best to get up, and lay down on the low table in a daze. Naruto said that there are many people who can instantly kill him, is it true? The power of Naruto has overturned her 3 views, even stronger than Naruto, and can even kill Naruto in seconds. What level of existence will it be? Unimaginable. Idiot, Naruto has been working hard, but looking at her, she is still complacent. Although she is still practicing every day, to be honest, the intensity is far less than before. The most important thing is mentality. I want to be a housewife, I want to take care of the house, I want to learn what to do as a wife, I want to take good care of Naruto and give Naruto a sense of home. All these things made her no longer interested in becoming stronger, and she didn't even want to be the heir of the clan. No, let's go on like this. Hinata said to himself. To make a change. Thinking deeply, if there is really an existence that can instantly kill Naruto, then if the other party wants to hurt Naruto, wouldn't she just watch it? Suddenly, Hinata shuddered and sat up straight. I want to become stronger, as strong as Naruto-kun, or even stronger than Naruto-kun. Only then can she protect Naruto. On the other side, Naruto, who appeared in the cabin, threw himself on the bed, limp and gasping for breath. It's really bearable, obviously I can't stand up anymore, but I still pretend to be okay. Kurama laughed. It's the first time I use it, I have no experience, there is a lot of unnecessary waste, and I don't really have unlimited chakra. Naruto said listlessly. Besides this move, the consumption is really outrageous, I almost thought I was going to be drained. 100 healings mark, the study of Baihao technique has to be put on the agenda. Chakra cannot be stored, which is super inconvenient. Chakra is the energy produced by the perfect combination of spiritual energy and physical energy. Extracting a huge amount of chakra at one time puts a lot of pressure on the body and mind. Fused with perfect Hashirama cells, the body can recover quickly, but the trouble is the spirit. This is probably the cause of first-generation Hashirama's death. Naruto thought to himself. Decades after his death, his corpse is still full of vitality, which is countless times more active than 99.99% of living human cells. Logically speaking, first-generation Hashirama should not be short-lived. Longevity is fundamental, so that it is not impossible to live for hundreds of years. It is very likely that in the battle with Madara in the Valley of the End, chakra was over-refined, causing the spirit to be severely wounded that could not be healed, and eventually led to the death of first-generation Hashirama. Whether this is the case, it is hard to say. Combined with his own feelings at this time, Naruto thinks it is likely to be the case. When the state is better and the physical strength has recovered, Naruto gets up to exercise, and at the same time, the consciousness said to Kurama. Talk to the shadow clone on the back mountain, and set aside a part of the shadow clone to learn Baihao technique and 100 healings mark. Like the spiritualization technique, these two techniques are S-level ninja techniques that can only be realized by the main body, and what shadow clone can do is only to help master theoretical knowledge. By the way, there are also the knowledge of sealing techniques and medical ninjutsu involved in it, and shadow clone can also be used to assist learning. Not long after, Kurama said, as I said, the number of shadow clone in the back mountain remains the same, but there are an additional 40 shadow clone, 20 of which are responsible for the learning of one technique. Naruto settled down, thinking about how to resonate with Ashura chakra, while exercising. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. Who? I. Little Sakura? Naruto asked, what's wrong? There is a party on the deck and there is a barbecue, do you want to come? Little Sakura said. I've eaten, and my stomach is full. Naruto said. Then you can also come and play, sing, dance and so on. Little Sakura said. I'm not interested in playing. Naruto said insincerely. Who wouldn't love to play? The problem is that in the future, the enemies will become more and more terrifying. If he doesn't take advantage of the present and hurry up to practice and become stronger, he will lose his life. When you become the strongest, you can play however you want. Before that, it's best to restrain yourself. The greatest enemy of man is himself, always wanting to be lazy, want to play, and want to relax. If you want to become stronger, you must beat yourself hard, and do not give yourself the opportunity and conditions to relax. Listen to this, are you exercising? Little Sakura asked. N. Naruto. Aren't you going home tonight? Little Sakura. N. Naruto. It was quiet for a while, and the footsteps belonging to little Sakura gradually faded away. Naruto didn't think much of it, and continued his sweaty workout until 1 o'clock in the night. Really tired, Naruto insisted on taking a shower, dragged his exhausted body, fell on the bed, and fell asleep soundly. In the pitch-black cabin, the only movement was Naruto's snoring. Suddenly, an extra person appeared out of thin air and landed silently. It's little Sakura. I was the first girl to contact Naruto, and I was the one who came first. Little Sakura. Don't let people know, there is no problem, it's fine. Are Sakura? Yes. Little Sakura. Hinata and Naruto are engaged. Ino also likes Naruto, and often possesses Naruto. On the other hand, she can't even see Naruto's body all day long, only the shadow clone. Thinking about it, little Sakura spread out her clenched left hand. The medicine powder, which is harmless to people and can make people fall into a deep sleep, obtained from senior sister Shizune, is sent into Naruto's body in an appropriate amount through the nasal cavity. Waiting for the effect of the medicine to take effect, making sure that Naruto will not wake up easily, little Sakura trembled slowly. Get close to Naruto. Chapter 117. It's been a long time since I slept so comfortably. Naruto stretched his waist and said refreshedly, oh. It's almost 8 o'clock. Why did I sleep for so long? Usually it was around 4 or 5 in the morning, and I woke up. Little Sakura was here last night, Kurama said. Little Sakura. Naruto was stunned, after I fell asleep? What did she come for? It's dark, you can't see anything, Kurama said. I sensed 5 tails, and I was sure it was little Sakura. She stayed there for about 2 hours. I asked 5 tails and it didn't respond. 2 hours, what will this do? I don't care. Naruto frowned. Anyway, it won't be a bad thing. Kurama said, there is a passive instinct. Any danger, the body will automatically avoid it. Naruto thought so too. Go home with Flying Thunder God, wash up, finish your breakfast, and come here again. Find the little Sakura who is blowing the air on the deck and watching the filming of the crew. The passive effect of spiritualization, soul sense, no soul response is sensed, means this little Sakura is a shadow clone. Last night, thank you very much. Naruto said, I slept very well, and my mental fatigue is gone. Shadow clone little Sakura froze, and said with difficulty, do you know what I did? I'm already asleep, where do I go? Naruto said, it's 9. 9 tails told me that it sensed 5 tails and knew you had been here, and stayed there for 2 hours. Hearing this, shadow clone little Sakura, secretly heaved a sigh of relief. So, what was done? Naruto asked. Shadow clone little Sakura is silent. Can't say. Naruto was even more curious. It would be better to let the main body answer this kind of thing. Shadow clone Xiao Sakura said. It's okay to feel embarrassed, I don't have to know. Naruto waved his hand. This kind of deep sleep can indeed help me relieve mental fatigue, but the sleep time is too long and it is not suitable for me. It's not even 8 hours, it's still long. How long do you sleep in a day now? Shadow clone little Sakura. 2 or 3 hours. Naruto. Shadow clone Sakura wanted to fight Naruto, but knew she didn't have the power. What are you doing, Hinata? Let you not care about your body like this, what should you do if your body collapses, what should you do? Complaining, the little shadow clone Sakura took the initiative to release herself. Not long after, the pink light flashed, and the little Sakura appeared. It seems that the eldest lady is not very good at taking care of others. If it were me, I would definitely not let you do whatever you want. Little Sakura said. Hinata listens to me, she is different from you. Naruto said. The little Sakura was sullen and didn't answer. Where have you been, your skin looks sticky. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Little Sakura turned her head away, not looking at Naruto, and said in a muffled voice, Shibone Forest, I heard from Master that it is Mount Myaboku that you contracted with, and it belongs to one of the 3 great immortal lands. Wetbone Forest, so, you are mainly practicing there now. Naruto. The little Sakura nodded. I asked the master what kind of technique can greatly improve the actual combat ability, and the answer I got was immortal technique. Immortal art. Naruto said, with the help of 9 tails, I took a shortcut and mastered the immortal art. You should be able to do it too. Help? How? Little Sakura was stunned. Knowing from Naruto that it was 9 tails who helped absorb the natural energy, she hurriedly asked 5 tails in her body. 5 tails said no. Little Sakura shook her head. It can't sense natural energy. That should belong to 9 tails' special ability, just like 5 tails' ability to control steam. And this statement, Naruto was surprised. He thought that Kurama could only perceive malice, but unexpectedly, sensing and absorbing natural energy were also Kurama's exclusive abilities. Uncovering this topic, little Sakura said, I can't tell you what I did last night. If you want a deep sleep, you can come to me at any time, and I will adjust the time. Is it medicine? Naruto guessed. Yes and no, we need to cooperate with some tactics. Little Sakura said unnaturally. Don't try it yourself, it's easy to go wrong. This is not a joke. The most appropriate thing is to come to me and I will help you check it out. N. Princess Fenjayun is waving at you. Naruto looked along and saw Zetsu, who had just finished taking a few shots, waving at him while touching up her makeup. That's fine. Next time I need it, I'll come to you. It can't be too long, 5 hours at most. Seeing Naruto walking towards Fenjayun Princess, the two whispered something. Little Sakura's eyes flickered. Maybe, we can keep it like this. Since childhood, the childhood sweethearts who have been together day and night have rescued himself from the despair and darkness where there is no hope. Little Sakura can't give up Naruto. But it can't be a third party to intervene. Naruto and Hinata are engaged, not dating, which is different in nature. If you are unwilling to give up and have no further possibility, what can you do? Looking for a new relationship? Heh, that's harder than giving up on Naruto. Although drinking poison to quench thirst, I also want to. Little Sakura. Be careful, and be careful not to let anyone, including Naruto, know, and nothing will happen. Sakura said, this is our secret. Well, a secret that cannot be revealed. Little Sakura. Sealed. Leave a shadow clone here. Taking out the little Katsuyu placed in the ninja bag, little Sakura said, Master Katsuyu, please. Here, under the reverse summoning of the Katsuyu sage, Sakura, the main body, went to the wet bone forest that is no longer in the ninja world. Over there, knowing that Zetsu was worried about safety, Naruto smiled. The bitterness I gave you yesterday has a mark left by me. No matter how far away, I can come to you in an instant, and I can rest assured. I'm not a ninja, so I wouldn't carry that kind of thing with me. Zetsu was speechless. Besides, it is inevitable that foreign objects may be dropped. Are there any more secure protection measures? It's safer. Naruto thought for a while. Now that I'm here, there's no need. After the mission is over, I will arrange a clone to be responsible for your safety, and you will be charged regularly. How does the clone's strength compare to yours? Zetsu said. Although not as strong as me, it is enough to deal with most situations. Naruto said. I don't spend money to hire a clone. I want you. The clone is unreliable. Zetsu said. Okay, but the price has to be raised. My appearance fee is not low. Naruto said. The fear of wind, flowers, and raging waves has accumulated for 10 years. Zetsu dare not take her life as a joke. She thought about it, and gritted her teeth, maximum 50%. Deal. Naruto said. In a few words, the payment remains the same, and the income has increased by 10%. Happy. Just kidding, his shadow clone can use Kurama chakra, can enter sage mode, and can't protect Zetsu after the 5 shadows are exhausted? Chapter 118. On the 6th day of the sea voyage, the temperature began to drop significantly. The closer to the snow country, the colder it gets. In the cabin where Naruto lives, there was a flash of gold. Naruto, wearing only a pair of swimming trunks, appears out of thin air. Teeth chattering, sitting shiveringly in front of the rechargeable heater, quilts, clothes, whatever can be put on, keep greeting him. Hi, there are many benefits to this winter swimming, but it is too painful and difficult to persist. Naruto sighed and picked up the thermos. Q_%. Take a sip of boiling hot water, and your body will gradually warm up. I don't see any good, I just see that you are looking for trouble and suffering for yourself. Kurama couldn't help but said. You're not human, and you won't understand even if you tell me. Naruto said. Not to mention the benefits to the body, the main thing is that I can use this method to hone my endurance and willpower. Look, I tried winter swimming for the first time, and I don't want to do it for the second time. I want to give up. The more this is the case, the more I have to persevere to defeat me who is afraid, withdrawn, and afraid. What is this called? This is called overcoming myself. At the stern of the ship, few people came here, and after the temperature plummeted, no one would come here. Suddenly, Naruto appeared out of nowhere, and it turned out that there was a flying thunder god mark left here. Without giving himself any time to hesitate, he jumped down, splashed in all directions, and completely submerged in the icy cold sea. Refining chakra, spread all over the body, has a certain effect of repelling cold, at least it will not be so difficult. But that would lose the meaning of exercising the body and honing the will. Naruto's request to himself is to dive as deep as possible without the help of chakra, and practice under the pressure of water. There is no need to do any special movements, normal swimming is the best exercise. Sage mode. Ninetales chakra mode. And the subsequent Kurama mode, 6-path sage mode, are all gain states. Based on its own strength, carry out multiple amplification. Assuming that the state gain is 10 times, 10 times of 2 is 20, 10 times of 3 is 30, 10 times of 5 is 50, and 10 times of 10 is 100. Even if the basic physical fitness is only improved a little bit, there will be exaggerated to explosive gain results, which will be presented. That is to say, the body foundation determines the gain effect. It was the first time just now, Naruto only dived to a depth of 5 meters and persisted for less than a minute. This second time, he gritted his teeth, held his breath regardless of his personal feelings, and dived desperately down to the limit. Take off the flying thunder god kunai pinned to the swimming trunks, stay here, make mudra with one hand, fly to the stern, take a breath, then lock the mark again, and return to the depth just now. Grab kunai, pin it on the swimming trunks again, and continue to dive. It was so painful, so cold, so wanting to give up, so stressful, and besides, Naruto didn't even know he had deep sea phobia until he came here. The surrounding area is full of water, a vast expanse of darkness, and from time to time there will be something that I don't know what it is, swimming past me, it's scary. Then, Naruto fell ill. It was the first time he caught a cold when he grew up. Fortunately, he was in good health. With the help of medicine, he recovered completely in just half a day. Then, continue to practice winter swimming. The process is quite arduous, and every time he succeeds in persevering, Naruto will have a small sense of accomplishment. He didn't give in, he didn't lose to himself. On the 8th day of the sea voyage, an island appeared in front of it, covered with snow, and there were several icebergs of different sizes. Naruto only knew about it when he heard the exclamation of the crew. He usually stays in the cabin and rarely goes out. Going up to the deck, looking up, Naruto activated the chakra perception technique. Mr. Kakashi, there are 3 people. Looking away from Jiraiya's published novel, Kakashi glanced sideways. Oh, is there any chakra reaction? Yes, a very special chakra reaction, very stable, always on a fixed level. Naruto said. Fixed. Kakashi frowned. Generally speaking, artificial chakra refining will have small wave-like ups and downs, frequency, ups and downs. Naruto said. Every ninja I've seen so far, chakra reacts like this, and Sister Tsunade, who is extremely controlling, is no exception. The chakra reactions of the 3 people over there are very strange, without any ups and downs and changes. Hearing you say that, I remembered something. Kakashi said in a deep voice, chakra armor. Is there an enemy? Shadow clone little Sakura's eyes lit up, and she released herself without hesitation, letting Lin Xiu, who was walking in the wet bone, know. Soon, the little Sakura left the wet bone forest and appeared on the sea, then launched the flying thunder god and appeared on the boat. Slow down. Little Sakura. If it's really the chakra armor, then ordinary ninjutsu, taijutsu, and illusion won't work. Kakashi said. The teacher also said that it's an ordinary ninjutsu, and it's fine to use an unusual technique to attack. Little Sakura fought with his palms. It's just right, you can try the results of my practice. Master Katsuyu, please. Leave it to me. Little Katsuya climbed onto little Sakura's right shoulder, clinging firmly to it, and said softly. Sealed space. Kurama said, this feeling, that little Katsuyu, it's absorbing natural energy. Naruto was stunned. Following him, he saw little Sakura's face showing the features unique to senjutsu, that is, the sage facial makeup. Light blue eyeshadow, with lines running from the corners of the eyes to the cheeks. The pupil becomes a circle. I don't know if it is not perfect, or it is the characteristics of the wet bone forest fairy technique. A bit Katsuya-like, the skin tends to develop towards a liquid state. I feel it, it's there. Before the words were finished, steam was rising from little Sakura's body. The ability from 5 tails raises the whole body chakra to boiling point in one breath. Sage art, unparalleled in strange power. The little Sakura who rushed out like a cannonball was as fast as lightning and powerful, and a punch with both speed and strength hit the spike avalanche hiding in the snow Yamanaka. There was a loud bang, and the iceberg shattered from top to bottom. Kakashi. The pressure of being a teacher is so great, he has to work harder and work harder. Afterwards, 2 fists blew the crane's wings into snow, and the winter bear was also defeated by the freezing rain. The little Sakura returned to the boat and raised her head slightly. How is it? Excellent. Kakashi gave a thumbs up. Ale, where's Naruto? Little Sakura was stunned. He, after seeing you make a move, he left, and probably went to practice in the sea again. Kakashi said. I came here specially to show it to Naruto, to get Naruto's praise and admiration, and to impress Naruto. Little Sakura, who failed to fulfill her wish, realized later, in the sea? Do you mean the sea here? Yes. Kakashi nodded. The little Sakura held his forehead, and said to Sakura, Naruto, he has been working hard for the dream of Hokage, and we, are still too naive. Chapter 119. Is it inspired by the method you provided? Kurama said. 5 tails can't sense natural energy, so it can't talk about absorbing it. What kind of place is that so-called wet bone forest? It makes me very curious. Naruto didn't answer, and his hind focused on diving. Little Sakura's fist not only shattered Chakra's armor, but also sank together with the iceberg and island. The director, who had no prospects, had no choice but to announce that he would continue sailing to the land of snow. Knowing Zioxu's true identity from the dying Yukino trio, Kakashi was shocked, and finally understood why Zioxu looked familiar. Dare to see it 10 years ago. On the 10th day of the sea voyage, he successfully landed in the snow country. Dressed in winter clothes, Zetsu with an expressionless face, put on sunglasses, left the film crew on the grounds of relaxing, and walked to Fenghua City. The boots walked on the snow, leaving a long series of shoe prints. Need help? Naruto asked. No. Glancing at the elusive Naruto who appeared out of nowhere, and then fixed her eyes on the distance, the snow was covered, Zetsu said, I have to walk this last part of the road by myself. An hour passed. The thickness of the snow exceeds the knees, which consumes a lot of energy. Zetsu really couldn't walk any longer, so she concealed her embarrassment and said, Okay, I've finished the road that belongs to me, and you can carry the rest on your back. Behind, carrying two big trees, Naruto, who was carrying the load, threw the tree away, and in a flash, appeared in front of Zetsu, carrying Zetsu on his back. Chakra erupted from the soles of his feet, leaped onto a tree more than 10 meters high, and jumped vertically between the trees. You're holding too tight. I can't breathe. Naruto. You are too fast, okay? Slow down. Zetsu said. It's already slow. Naruto. Adapted to Naruto's speed, Zetsu said, have you ever been to the land of snow? No. Naruto. I've never been here before, and you still run so fast. Where did you go? I don't even know you. Zetsu was speechless. Although I haven't been here before, I know where there are many people. Naruto said, go straight and turn over the 2 mountains ahead. Zetsu was silent, and then found out that, as Naruto said, when she climbed the second mountain, she stood in the wind and snow, and the Fenghua City, which had not changed for 10 years, came into view. Zetsu took off her sunglasses and stared blankly. Next, what do you want to do? Naruto asked. Zetsu came back to her senses, grabbed Naruto's shoulder subconsciously, and whispered, you promise, you won't betray me just because someone bids higher. I promise. Naruto nodded. Then. Zetsu said firmly, send me into that city, I want to meet someone. Fenghuashan. In the hall. Sitting on the highest throne, sitting here, imagining a bright future. Get the hexagonal crystal, get the secret treasure of the Fenghua family, vigorously develop Suren village, and have enough power to go to the mainland to become the king. As for a small country with no future like Snow Country, it is not worth his nostalgia at all. Hexagonal crystal, as long as I have it, I can. Fenghua feudal murmured, hexagonal crystal, 6, oops. Hearing clear and unfamiliar footsteps, and looking carefully, the person who came was not Zetsu, whoever it was. I thought something happened, I couldn't complete the task, het. Fenghua Nudao looked down at Zetsu condescendingly, and said with a faint smile. Long time no see, Zetsu, see you in 10 years, you have grown a lot. The image of Naruto annihilating a barren mountain with one blow was repeatedly recalled in his mind. With this method, he suppressed the fear of wind, flowers, and raging waves. Zetsu said calmly, I want to know why you did that 10 years ago. It's hard to understand. Fenghua said angrily. Using the throne and seizing power is nothing more than this kind of thing, and I'm just trying my best to fight for what I can get. After all, according to the rules of succession, you have priority over me. That's all. Zetsu said. It's just like that. Fenghua said furiously. Forget it, I can't explain it to someone like you who doesn't understand how powerful power is. Do you have the hexagonal crystal with you? Zetsu remained silent, her fists clenched tightly. Fenghua Nutao frowned, stood up, and walked towards Xiao Shuai, are you very angry? It's useless, the law of the jungle is the truth in the world, you are weak, including your weak father who died 10 years ago, all. Naruto. Zetsu shouted hoarsely, kill him. Swish. The golden light flashed, and Naruto, who instantly came to Zetsu, was already in Ninetales chakra mode. 2 chakra hands extended from his body, grasping Fenghua Nutao's left and right hands like lightning, preventing him from forming seals and using ninjutsu. Forcibly pulling the raging waves closer, Naruto raised his right hand and pressed towards him, using the planetary Raise-Non. A big Raise-Non is surrounded by 3 small Raise-Nons, which are revolving around, and the power is greatly improved. And Naruto combines the mutual generation and mutual restraint of attributes, the big one is fire-style Raise-Non, and the small one is wind-style Raise-Non. The wind helps the fire, and the fire takes advantage of the wind to increase its lethality to a higher level. What? Fenghua Feudal was shocked, and then sneered, ignorance, I'm wearing the most perfect chakra armor so far, any ninjutsu has no effect on me. Click. Kaka. The wind, flowers, and raging waves were stuck, and when he lowered his head, he saw cracks in the crystals on Chakra's armor, and they were increasing at a terrifying speed. Click. Boom. Chakra's armor was shattered, and he lost this protection. In an instant, Fenghua Feudal was ignited by the fire and turned into a fireman. Ah! When the other Shuaren heard the movement and rushed over, they were already burned to ashes. Seeing Zetsu squatting on the ground, her head buried in silence, Naruto made seals and created 10 shadow clones. Unity uses the natural energy delivered by Kurama, enters Sage mode, spreads out, and cleans up the snow ninja in the city. Don't kill, just knock him out. How to deal with it is Zyoksu's business. Naruto has no other requirements, just give him money regularly. The only thing that could be a variable is that the storm is dead, and you're done. Naruto thought to himself, backed away without a sound, formed a mudra with one hand, and left with Flying Thunder God. Shadow Clone is him, and Kurama is helping to keep an eye on it. If anything happens, he can be noticed immediately without delay. That night, Naruto went home to eat as usual. Brother-in-law, have another bowl. Hanabi said. When Naruto reached for the bowl, he touched Hanabi's hand. Ding, trigger check-in character, Hyaga Hanabi, check-in? Yes? No. Naruto. Thinking it was an auditory hallucination, he helped Hanabi to fill the rice with a dull face, and at the same time as handing it to Hanabi, his hand touched it again, and the same notification sound sounded in his mind. Check-in Hamura chakras cool down, is it over? Can you sign in again? Naruto couldn't calm down, put down the bowl and chopsticks and rushed outside. Where is Sasuke? Indra. He wants Indra chakra immediately. Chapter 120. Where are you going in such a hurry? Hanabi was puzzled. I don't know, there must be something urgent. Hinata shook her head, understanding. He lowered his head and pawed at the rice, his eyes quietly opened. However, Naruto was half squatting on the roof, using the chakra perception technique, and then, as if locking onto a certain target, he sprinted towards that position at an extremely fast speed. Sasuke. Putting down the half-eaten meal and rushing to find Sasuke, why? Hinata is full of curiosity. Interpret the conversation between the two by reading lips. The other side. Naruto, who didn't know that Hinata was peeping, the first time he saw Sasuke, he announced a bunch of names. Great Fireball Technique. Phoenix Fire Technique. Practice Shuriken. At this point, Sasuke is having dinner. After listening to Naruto, he calmly said, aren't these the techniques you asked me for more than 3 months ago? Tell me now, what do you mean? As for these skills, I have learned all of them. I just want to ask, have you learned or developed any new skills these days? Naruto said. Skills are important, not many. Sasuke said. Except for the Flying Thunder God technique that little Sakura gave me in your name, I am still learning and have no intention of using other techniques. That's fine, with all options ruled out, you must be able to sign Indra Chakra. Naruto breathed a sigh of relief, and then said, I'm here because I have something to ask you. Sasuke looked sideways. I want to experience Sharingan. Naruto. Experiencing the Sharingan? How about an experiential method? Sasuke. Borrow your Sharingan and implant it in me. Naruto. Sasuke. Soon, no more than 2 minutes at most. Naruto. Sasuke. Sasuke has already opened Mangekyo, but he didn't know if he had awakened his pupil technique. Therefore, it is not safe to implant Shisui's Mangekyo to sign in. Don't be afraid of 10,000, just in case, any pupil technique is not as important as Indra Chakra. The safest way is to implant Sasuke's Mangekyo, not one, but a complete pair. Only in this way can we ensure that there will be no deviation. You don't know how important Sharingan is to me. Sasuke said in a deep voice. You don't know how important this matter is to me. Naruto said seriously. Seeing that Naruto was not joking, but seriously brought up the matter, Sasuke remained silent. For a long time. Your body tissue, give me some. Sasuke said. Body tissue. Naruto made a strange face. This is to see the Uchiha stone monument? The best is the body tissue of the first generation. He belongs to the Senju family and is known to be the strongest. Sasuke said. But he died a long time ago. I don't know where the body is, and I can't touch it. Since your surname is Uzumaki, it proves that you have more or less connections with Senju. The most important thing is that you have the same wood style as the first generation. It's real. Sasuke definitely went to see the Uchiha stele. Or they found the notebooks left by their parents, knowing that the power of Uchiha and Senju, combined, can be everything. After figuring it out, Naruto took out the kunai without saying a word, and pointed it at his arm. He weighed it in his hand, about half a tael, and put it bloody on the table. Chakra is refined, and the injured part heals quickly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Seeing this, Sasuke took a deep breath. How to recover after the experience? My chakra is comparable to medical ninjutsu. Naruto said. No more doubts, Sasuke said, then come on. Sasuke didn't resist. Naruto quickly gouged out his eyes. Then he dug out his right eye and implanted Sasuke's right eye, then dug out his left eye and implanted Sasuke's left eye. Chakra full of vitality, repairs and connects the upper optic nerve. The Sharingan, supplemented by chakra, opened instantly. Naruto increased the output of chakra, and the Sanguya was transformed into Mangekyo. There is nothing in the right eye, while it is blank, the pupil power is intact, and the left eye has a pupil technique in it, Amaterasu, the pupil power is a little bit lacking. Next came the main event. Naruto put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder with tension and anticipation. Ding, trigger check-in character, Uchiha Sasuke, check-in? Yes? No. Yes. Congratulations, getting Indra Chakra. With a sigh of relief, Panasonic, Naruto did not delay, and quickly switched his eyes back. After confirming that the eyes are his own and can still be used, there is no problem, Sasuke also heaved a sigh of relief, and asked strangely, what's the point of you doing this? Naruto smiled without saying a word, sensing that there was a change in chakra in his body. He didn't stay, took his leave and left. Watching Naruto leave, Sasuke was in no mood to eat anymore. His eyes fell on the piece of Naruto's body tissue. It's not senju, can it be effective? There is such a powerful vitality in the cells, even if you can't get everything, the increase in strength will definitely not be small. When I accept and digest these powers, Itake, that's when you die. Worried that there would be a lot of noise, as soon as Naruto left Sasuke's house, he immediately used the Flying Thunder God to fly to an inaccessible place outside the village. Leaving a shadow clone in charge of guarding, Naruto sat cross-legged, closed his eyes, and sensed the chakra in his body with his heart. Converging. Indra Chakra and Ashura Chakra, merging. Under Naruto's induction, Indra Chakra, who had just signed in, was overlapping with Ashura Chakra, and gradually evolved into another person. Otsutsuki Kagaya's eldest son, Otsutsuki Yuyi, also known as the Sage of Six Paths. Endless, the appearance of Yuyi Chakra caused the turmoil of Hamura Chakra, and the two, like Indra and Ashura, overlapped. Perform fusion. It's fusion, it's more like recovery, it's back to what it should have been. The fusion process was smooth, and it happened naturally without any blockage. Otsutsuki Kagaya. Naruto swallowed heavily, feeling nervous. He didn't feel relieved until he found that the pupils of Otsutsuki Kagaya were dim and lifeless, and it was Kagaya Chakra who didn't have Kagaya consciousness. It was also at this time that he had time to observe, check, and summarize his own gains. My whole body, including the eyes, between the eyebrows, and the bones, is itchy. Kagaya Chakra is subtly changing me and sublimating me. Still unable to take the initiative to control and use it. So that's how the passive instinct came about. Hamura Chakra endows cells with a certain degree of independent consciousness, combined with the vitality endowed by Ashura Chakra to cells. This is unique to Tensagen. It endows the puppet with the ability to think independently. I never thought that even cells can do it, and it can get such a wonderful effect. Chapter 121. There are many changes that can be seen and felt when surfacing. But apart from the two growths of cell vitality and chakra volume, which have an intuitive ability to improve, other changes are still in the bud. It takes time and an opportunity to present. Naruto slowly opened his eyes, and said to the shadow clone who had nothing to do but was playing Raise Non, attack me. Shadow clone was stunned, but the reaction was not slow. Chakra broke out and attacked the main body with the Raise Non in his hand. Naruto hesitated. When Raise Non was close in front of his eyes, there was only a centimeter away, and he suddenly exploded. With the least consumption and the smallest movement, while avoiding the attack, with a backhand palm, the shadow clone was sent flying. This level of attack is not enough to shatter shadow clone. Shadow clone adjusted its position in mid-air, and after landing, it ran towards the main body at full speed. Fire style, Phoenix fire technique. A dozen fireballs the size of a football spewed out, covering Naruto from different directions and angles. Naruto sauntered in the courtyard to dodge with minimal consumption, and then disappeared from Shadow Clone's sight in a flash. Shadow Clone turned his head and looked around, unable to react in time, was punched and exploded by the main body that appeared behind him. This punch is no small matter. Only the small area in front of the fist that hits the target is filled with Kurama Chakra, Zyonjo Chakra. Passive instinct has been enhanced a lot. Naruto thought to himself. You don't need to use illusion to deceive yourself, forget the sense of crisis, to trigger it, it can be triggered under normal conditions. It is no longer limited to evasion, dodge attacks, but also counterattack. The difference is that when he doesn't have the intention to kill, under ordinary triggers, the passive instinct will not kill him, and he will push the target away and send him flying. And when he has killing intent and decides to kill the target, his passive instinct will launch the strongest and fastest blow in the most thunderous and decisive way. Achieve extermination. Has the consciousness endowed in the cells increased? Naruto looked at his hands and said to himself. Thinking of a cell-themed anime, he feels weird. This cell has a very strong subjective initiative. It is really not to be underestimated. In addition, his skin seemed to have become more delicate and whiter. I touched my face, it was so smooth and tender. Suddenly, a message came to his mind, and Naruto couldn't help opening his mouth. Konoha village. Naruto's house. Naruto drank 2 bowls of rice in one go, together with a piece of steak, a dozen shrimps, and 5 oysters. The message I received just now reappeared in my mind with different content. Enough. Naruto endured the strange feeling and insisted on eating a little more. Immediately, that message reappeared. Too much. Hey, I'm going. My stomach is full. You can send me a message. Naruto held his forehead, feeling so unreal. Soon, another message came, this time it was the bladder, and the content was release. Release? What release? I usually wait until I can't hold it any longer. Now it's still far away. Ask. Freed. Pressure. Too heavy. It seems that I can only send 2 words at a time, and the bladder has sent 4 times in a row. Naruto. After going to the toilet, the bladder sent a message. Thanks. Naruto. What an experience. The cells in the body, because of the relationship between Hamura Chakra, have a high level of subjective consciousness. And because it has now evolved into Kagaya Chakra, the vitality of the cells has greatly increased, and the subjective initiative has been greatly improved. It also derived the ability to communicate with him and send messages. Even if he was killed, he would never have imagined that one day, he would be thanked by the bladder. 1915099243, multiplied by 8261788520, what is it? Naruto thought about this question. After a while, the answer came to mind. 158220822948060350. Well, brain cells are included. Naruto covered his face. If things go on like this, will he be usurped by his own body? Thinking this way, immediately, a lot of messages emerged, some from bones, some from liver, kidney, and blood. Really? Those who are endowed with consciousness cannot resist, let alone betray those who are endowed with consciousness. Is this the case? We have to wait for his eyes to roll, transform, and advance to Tensagen before we can know and confirm that right now, he has no ability to change for the time being. In other words, I am now, to the cells, equivalent to a world. Naruto secretly thought. Chakra, it's amazing. Tensagen is even more magical. Naruto-kun. Hinata avoided Hanabi, and whispered to Naruto, who was watering the prickly pear on the balcony, do you really want the pupil art blood succession limit? Naruto was puzzled. I can give you mine. Hinata whispered. Avoid my lord father, my lord grandfather will get angry when he finds out, it's best to avoid them and use them secretly. Ordinary white eyes are not as powerful as the Sharingan. My pair is different. I dare not say that it surpasses the Sharingan. It is definitely not far behind. Naruto put down the watering pot, and took Hinata into his arms. When I went to find Sasuke, did you peep at me? Hinata blushed, bowed her head and said nothing, stirring the hem of her clothes with her fingers. Tell you a secret, don't tell it outside. Naruto whispered, I actually already have supercilious eyes, not only supercilious eyes, but also many abilities in the future. In the past, I was worried that the leak of news would cause troubles that I couldn't handle. Before I grew up and had no self-protection ability, it was necessary to be cautious. Now, with Otsutsuki Kagaya Chakra, there is such a perfect passive instinct. Leaving aside whether Hinata will spread the word, the probability of this event is so small that it can be said to be 0. Even if the truth spread out by accident, Naruto is sure and confident to solve all the troubles. Hinata was startled, looked up and saw Naruto's blue eyes turned into white eyes that were opened. Hinata. No mistake. Mother. It's mother's chakra. Black Zetsu was incoherent with excitement. As soon as it sensed it, it threw off white Zetsu and rushed towards the sensed direction desperately. As the will of the original chakra, Black Zetsu is special. As strong as Yui and Hamura, they can't feel it at close range, and they can also possess themselves and blend into everything. The combat power is not strong, and the concealment ability and mystery are ridiculously high. On the way, it was discovered that Chakra's reaction was to change positions out of thin air, and the distance was not short. Black Zetsu's heart sank. Time and space technique? With anxiety and anticipation, Black Zetsu approached at full speed. This direction is Konoha. Black Zetsu thought to himself. After finally arriving at Konoha, Chakra suddenly reacted and went to another place, which was extremely far away, overseas. No! Black Zetsu yelled from under the ground. After a while, he sighed and resigned to his fate to rush over there. At this moment, the mother's chakra reaction appeared again in Konoha village, not as strong as the first one, but very weak. Black Zetsu froze. After thinking about it, he turned back to Konoha village, ignoring the barrier and went straight in, and found Sasuke lying on the tatami mat with bulging veins and struggling to breathe. Chapter 122. This boy, is Uchiha Itaka's younger brother? Why have a mother's chakra? After thousands of years of development, the mother's chakra has been scattered infinitely, and it is impossible to appear on one person in such a small amount. Black Zetsu narrowed his eyes. Ordinary people's chakra, no matter how much they accumulate, they can't reach the level of their mothers. This is a qualitative gap. The prerequisite for resurrecting the mother is the carrier itself, possessing a chakra close to the mother, and then becoming the 10 tails Jinchuriki. This is why Madara can revive Kagaya but Obito cannot. The same 10 tails Jinchuriki, Madara is the reincarnation of Indra chakra, and acquired Hashirama cells, fused and sublimated into Yui chakra, and guided Rin Egan. In the case of Obito, although he is a descendant of Indra and has Hashirama cells implanted, Indra has been infinitely diluted and is far inferior to Madara. It is not a condition for resurrecting Kagaya. Without Gadu statue, without 10 tails, but the mother's chakra, the only possibility is. Black Zetsu thought. Hamura chakra. As the only descendant of Hamura on earth, the Hyuga clan, I have observed for a long time, and even stole corpses several times. Do an experiment. Proof that there is no Hamura chakra in it, not even diluted. It should be a passive hand and foot, resulting in the blood of the Hyuga clan, except for the white eyes, there are defects, and it has not inherited the powerful power of Hamura. Is it Yui or Hamura who made this move? I don't know what happened to the moon, but unfortunately I can't go to the moon, so I can't confirm it. Hiding in the shadows, blending perfectly with the darkness, Black Zetsu stared straight at Sasuke. Indra, Ashura, after a while, will be reincarnated in their respective descendants. This boy is Uchiha, probably the Indra chakra reincarnation of this generation. Another mother's chakra holder, unsurprisingly, the reincarnation of Ashura chakra. So, how did Hamura chakra come here? Could it be that the father and mother of these two people, one of them, is from the Hyuga clan? Ashura chakra was reincarnated, not only being hosted by Ashura chakra, but also selected by Hamura chakra at the same time. Have never seen Hamura chakra reincarnated, it's so rare. It seems that no matter how you do it, the Hyuga clan is still the descendant of Hamura, and can be boarded by Hamura chakra. Only in this way can the conditions be met and the mother's chakra be induced. It is difficult to figure out the specific rules by scrutiny. Besides, this is not the point of the question. The point is, what should we do next? Who to choose as the mother's resurrection container? Madara doesn't have Hamura chakra, so it needs to rely on 10 tails to make up the gap and get as close to the mother as possible. If there is Hamura chakra, no matter how much, as long as it can fuse a little of the mother's chakra, Black Zetsu can also revive the mother. Maybe this kind of resurrection is more powerful than resurrection when I don't go to work and become 10 tails Jinchuriki, but Madara becomes 10 tails Jinchuriki. I don't know how long it will take. There are too many variables, but if there is a deviation, all previous efforts will be wasted, and all efforts will fall short, and we will have to start all over again. Black Zetsu couldn't afford to wait, let alone wait. The other holder has mastered the time-space technique, and the difficulty is not low. On the other hand, the boy in front of me. Black Zetsu pondered. Excited, a little dazed to its head, calm down and think about it. How about it is the best choice? The amount of chakra at the beginning can only affect the strength of the mother at the beginning. Using my mother's ability to recover all chakra, it's not difficult to do it steadily, just be careful of Yui, he may have any backup. The first issue now is the resurrection of the mother. After thinking about it and making a decision, Black Zetsu moved forward on the ground, silently attached to Sasuke's body, like a dog's skin plaster, which could not be shaken off or separated. What? Sasuke changed face. He, feel honored to be the container of the ancestor of chakra. Black Zetsu laughed. Your consciousness will not disappear, let alone die, but will live forever with your mother, but this body is no longer yours. Find out where the mother's chakra is reacting, and poke hard. When a part of Black Zetsu's body, Kagaya chakra, came into direct contact. The consciousness of the immortal Atsutsuki Kagaya, who has been sleeping for thousands of years, awakens in an instant. Sasuke's eyes went black, he completely lost his sense of body, and appeared in an absolute darkness where he couldn't see his fingers. Suddenly, there was a light in front, it was 2 windows, but Kagaya opened his eyes, Sasuke was here, and he could see what Kagaya saw. What happened? Sasuke was at a loss. So weak. Kagaya said the first words when he first woke up. Seeing her own appearance through the glass window, she spoke in a flat, slightly confused tone. Why? I'm getting smaller. It's like 12 or 13 years old at most. Be safe, mother. Black Zetsu slowly melted back into Kagaya's body. Listen to me explaining to you slowly. Before that, we need to change the place first. This place is not suitable for talking. Kagaya nodded, trusting Black Zetsu unconditionally, this was her will, equivalent to herself. Space, opening a black hole big enough for one person to pass through. Kagaya stepped inside. There is no fixed place I want to go, so I randomly come to the land of fire, a bustling town. Black Zetsu slowly stated the major events that have happened over the past 1000 years, and some key small events will be explained. Actually, this is a good thing. Black Zetsu said. According to my original resurrection plan, Yui must be aware of it. It's hard to guarantee that he won't do anything against his mother. Now, the resurrection is so secretive, Yui is in the dark, and we are also in the dark. Perhaps, Yui has noticed me. Kagaya said. Awareness is mutual, mother. Black Zetsu laughed. In terms of chakra's quality, you are above Yui. At most, he can be equal to you. If he finds you, then you can find him along the way. Kagaya was non-committal. Times are different, Black Zetsu said. If you are sealed again, next time, if you want to be resurrected again, I don't know when it will be. It's best for mother to adapt to this era. Learn more fighting skills and make it your instinct. In that way, after regaining your strength, there will be no shortcomings to target. Where did you learn it? Kaguya asked. Akatsuki organization is a good place, but there is a tricky person there, I can't see how many cards he has. Black Zetsu said. The container you used is his younger brother. Just in case, it is not appropriate to appear in front of him until the strength has recovered to a certain level. You can use Langren's identity to exchange for gold to accept the task. Chapter 123. The Sacred Tree. Kaguya said, I want to retrieve the sacred tree first. Yui divided the sacred tree chakra into 9 parts and scattered them all over the world in the form of tailed beasts. Black Zetsu said. The current divine tree is just an empty shell with endless vitality and lacks the crucial chakra. Getting it back won't do you much good, and it might attract Yui's attention. It's best to wait for the Xia organization to collect all the tail beasts and synthesize them into 10 tails. At that time, you can call it back. Not to mention saving effort, the most important thing is safety. Kaguya was silent. Mother, I have been lurking for thousands of years and learned a truth. Black Zetsu said. Forbearance. The momentary victory or defeat is nothing, and the winner who laughs at the end can take all. The divine tree, 10 tails, is your incarnation, it is at your mercy, and no one can control it. Where is the gold exchange? Kaguya said. In the sea area of the snow country, Naruto communicates with the cells in his body while diving and practicing. He found that, except for the limit of 2 words per message, the IQ of the cells is very high, and there is a trend of getting higher and higher. But it seems that it will not and cannot exceed his subject. Brain cells do not have a limit of 2 words, and can send messages at will. By the way, when Naruto's soul leaves the body, the consciousness of all cells will disappear, and the consciousness will not be reconnected until his soul returns. The initiative is in his hands. Speaking of which, the punch that blasted Shadow Clone earlier used chakra, the fairy art, without the help of Kurama. Naruto said in consciousness. Can you sense, absorb natural energy, and refine it into celestial chakra? Can. It is the brain cells that respond to Naruto. As the endowed independent consciousness, their thinking ability is very single, that is, one tendon, and they cannot think wildly like real life. It is the best state to practice immortality. Then, can the inherent buff effect that makes Sage Mode a normal existence? Naruto asked. Brain cells respond. Can. The calm sea suddenly exploded. At some point, Naruto stood on the undulating sea. After rushing into the waves of more than 10 meters high, it was like a heavy rain pouring down, falling along with the force of gravity, and drenching him. It's different. Naruto murmured, looking down at his hands. With the help of Kurama, he enters Sage Mode. The celestial chakra accumulates, flows, and operates in the chakra meridians. When using Taijutsu, mobilize the Zyonjo chakra to the part that needs to be strengthened, and that part of the Zyonjo chakra will be consumed. When using ninjutsu, mobilize the Senjutsu chakra to walk the corresponding chakra meridian, and leave the body. Similarly, this part of the Zyonjutsu chakra is consumed. At this moment, the cells enter and maintain the Sage Mode autonomously, and the celestial chakra spreads all over the body. Not only is it full of chakra meridians, but it is also full of every cell, internal organs, limbs, eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. In the human body, there are tens of trillions of cells. Moving his eyes away from his hands, he landed on the sea surface, and his eyesight was greatly enhanced. Even in the dark night, he could see very clearly. There is no eyeshadow, and the pupils have not changed. Naruto was silent. Sage of 6 Paths, when Atsutsuki Yui practiced Mount Myoboku Senjutsu, nothing seemed to change. In other words, this is the most perfect fairy art? Any change, however small, means flaws. Can you really maintain this state forever? Naruto asked. Can. It is still the brain cells that give the answer. Conventional chakra extraction is a unilateral request to the cells, and it cannot feed back any benefits to the cells, which greatly shortens the lifespan of the cells. Makes cells age and accelerates replacement. Zyonjo chakra, 1/3 of which is natural energy, is no longer a constant demand. On the contrary, it can also strengthen cell vitality and delay cell aging. Delay cell aging. Naruto rubbed his face. It is equivalent to prolonging my life in disguise, eh? Doesn't that mean that I have to wait for a long time before I can grow up? When Hinata was 12, he was 12. When Hinata was 20, he was 12. When Hinata was 30, he was still 12. Naruto. External age can be controlled. Brain cells send messages. Just need to consume a lot of chakra. The last thing I need is chakra, show me the control. Naruto said. Wait a minute, let's make it clear. Is it only possible to grow and move forward, or can I advance and retreat? Is there a price? Can advance and retreat? Brain cells explained. As a price, a batch of cells is sacrificed. Is sacrificing cells the same as shortening lifespan? Naruto pondered. There is still a lot of life in his body, and he can afford it. It was a good time to take this opportunity to test whether the cells would disobey his orders in the face of a large number of casualties on their own side. Come on, grow up around 3 years old, start. The voice just fell, and the strangeness suddenly rose. At the same time as the body temperature rose, steam came out of the body. The celestial chakra in the body is rapidly consumed and rapidly refined, cell division is accelerated, and metabolism is accelerated. 13. 14. 15. He has grown a lot taller. The hair is above the shoulders and almost to the waist. The swimming trunks were so tightly stretched that they almost collapsed. This is too convenient. Naruto thought to himself. I'm sorry for how much you sacrificed, because I wanted to test and caused you so many casualties. Naruto smirked. With Zyonjo chakra, the sacrifice is not big. Brain cells answer. Our independent consciousness is consistent and unchanging. This is true for one cell, and it is also true for tens of trillions of cells. No matter how many cells are sacrificed, it is always our consciousness. Naruto. Your temptation is meaningless, and it is you who are hurt. Brain cells explained. We have no fear, much less desire. It is only operating according to the established rules between cells, which is the condition for maintaining life and the first priority. Obeying your orders, is secondary. Giving you advice on how to take care of your health is the third priority. Naruto. If the brain cells were real intelligent life forms, they would probably despise him and laugh at him. Reality has no ifs. The independent consciousness given by Hamura Chakra is the independent consciousness on the shackles, and the independent consciousness on the rein. The self-growth of independent consciousness is curbed, and the emotional changes of independent consciousness are also curbed. They are the tools of Moda's feelings. I've been fighting for a long time, am I fighting wits with myself? Are I making trouble with myself? Naruto said. Yes. Brain cells respond. Naruto took a deep breath, laughed twice, dived into the sea, and sank hard. It's also pretty good, at least I understand the operating mechanism of the cells, so I don't have to worry about being usurped and seized power, and I feel a lot more at ease. All this aside, Naruto subconsciously thought that he should be able to awaken the Sharingan by now, wondering what his Mangekyo pupil technique would be. Chapter 124. Ah! The person who screamed was the little shadow clone Sakura. Transformation technique. Kakashi guessed. It has nothing to do with the transformation technique, but with the help of 9 tails, the body age has been increased by 3 years. Naruto lied and said without drafting. Turning back to 12 years old requires another batch of cells to die. He is not crazy. Besides, the physical fitness of the 15-year-old now far exceeds that of the 12-year-old, and there is no discomfort, so there is no need to return to the 12-year-old again. Kakashi was silent for a while, and muttered, 9 tails, it's amazing. This is too foul. How can it grow so fast? Can 5 tails also be used? Shadow clone little Sakura said, leaving the flying thunder god mark, and immediately released herself. Wetbone Forest. The little Sakura, who is still practicing hard here, received the memory of Shadow Clone and saw Naruto who had no suitable clothes to wear and was only wearing swimming trunks for the time being. The bright red liquid flows out from the nasal cavity. When she opened her eyes, she blushed slightly and raised her hand to wipe away the nosebleed. You have such a good figure. Told 5 tails about this, asked if it could do it, and it couldn't. After tidying up briefly, little Sakura left the Wetbone Forest, wanting to see it with her own eyes, and if conditions permit, she could touch it with her hands. Of course, we must hold back, not nosebleeds. He's home, Kakashi said. Fleeing in vain, the little Sakura shook her head and said nothing, went back to the Wetbone Forest and continued to practice. Konoha Village. Naruto's house. Facing the stake, Hinata, who was practicing the basic skills of Gentle Fist, turned around after hearing the movement, and saw Naruto who had grown up a lot. Hinata. It's me. Naruto said. Hinata took 2 steps back warily. Eyes open. First, he was startled by the terrifying magic chakra in Naruto's body. When I found the 8-sign seal, and saw the 9 tails chakra spilling out of the seal, I was sure it was Naruto, not someone else pretending to be. Hinata then let down her guard. Naruto-kun, how did you become like this? Hinata stammered. The newly acquired ability can control cells, try to accelerate growth, and that's it. Naruto said. It's equivalent to 3 years of accelerated growth. If you don't like it and can't accept it, I can change back. Control the cells and accelerate the growth. Hinata pondered the words. Chakra is the energy generated from cells. It is self-evident how important cells are. This is the basic common sense of ninjas. The number of cell divisions is limited. If you speed up like this, isn't it equivalent to shortening your lifespan? Speaking of this, Hinata rarely became angry. Based on my current situation, I can live for at least a few hundred years, which is the least. Naruto said, it's not a problem to lose a few lifespans. At least, living hundreds of years, Hinata stays. I don't care about other people's opinions, only you, Hinata. Naruto said, I feel weird, I can't accept it, I will go back to 12 immediately. Hinata regained her senses and shook her head vigorously, no. I have no problem, don't hurt yourself anymore. After getting this answer, Naruto decided to keep it like this, turned and walked into the bathroom, and took a shower. After splashing in the sea for so long, it is very uncomfortable if I don't wash it. I asked Kurama to help pass the message to Shadow Clone in the back mountain to buy a few sets of inner and outer coats. In this way, when Naruto finished his shower, the clothes were delivered just in time. It is the sportswear that I am used to wearing at ordinary times. One is comfortable, and the other is easy to move around. Is this 1.8 meters? In front of the mirror, Naruto compared his height and asked uncertainly. In the plot, Naruto was 1.66 meters tall when he was 16 years old, but at the age of 15. This is the effect it has under the blessing of Zyonshu Chakra. Brain cells explained. According to the brain cells, Zyonshu Chakra greatly enhances the activity of the cells. The cells are always in the best state, and the final result is that Naruto is at his peak when he was 15 years old. This is a level that can only be reached under normal circumstances and requires a long-term regular diet, keeping up with nutrition, good work and rest, and reasonable exercise. Diet and nutrition, work and rest, exercise. Naruto pondered. Zyonshu Chakra can replace these. In other words, in sage mode all the time, I cannot eat, drink, or rest. Even if you don't do daily exercise, your physical fitness will not go backwards and go downhill. Yes. Brain cells respond. Naruto. Is that human being? Perhaps, this is the real fairy. Longevity and long vision, Bigu, eternal beauty and incredible strength. Hinata, help me cut my hair. Naruto said. Cut hair? I haven't learned it, I'm afraid it won't cut well. Hinata wondered. It's okay, come here as you like, just cut it short. Naruto said, I used to let Shadow Clone do it, and from now on, I will always rely on you. Hearing what Naruto said, Hinata no longer refuses. Spread something on the tatami. Naruto sat cross-legged. Hinata held the scissors a little nervously, carefully cutting one after another, for fear that it would not look good. After finishing the experience, I'm ready to go home. I sensed that you were at home, so I came to take a look. What did you do? Ino's voice appeared in his consciousness. 10 minutes later, Ino left. Thinking about the Sharingan, Naruto said, Hinata. Huh? What? Hinata, who had roughly finished and made the final repairs, answered casually. I now have the possibility to activate the Sharingan. Naruto said. I just knew that Sharingan needs emotional stimulation to awaken, so I thought of using illusion to achieve it. Illusion is a field I haven't touched before. Hinata said. Remember Yuhi Hong, Teacher Hong, is the Jonin of the Grandmaster Illusion, you can. Wait. Sharingan? We are not related to Teacher Hong, but if we let her know, it won't work. I had troubled Teacher Hong before, and helped me develop a low-level illusion to deceive myself. Naruto said. Tomorrow, I will ask again to modify the effect of this illusion to make me feel pain. It's good, you don't have to worry about the secret being discovered by outsiders. Hinata nodded. It can be done at the initial stage. Naruto said. When the Sharingan awakens and has its own resistance to illusions, primary illusions will be useless. At this time, I can trouble Teacher Kakashi, he is a trustworthy existence, and at the same time, there is a Sharingan that can help me. The trouble is that the Sharingan is advanced to Mangekyo, and it is difficult for me to use the Sharingan illusion of Kakashi teacher. Mangekyo, isn't it the highest stage of Sharingan? Hinata froze. On top of that, Naruto said, as Mangekyo, I need Mangekyo who is good at illusion to complete hypnosis. Chapter 125. Mangekyo who is good at illusion. Where can I find it here? Hinata worried. Remember the lute from Danzo? Naruto said. Could it be? Hinata's eyes widened. The development direction of that Mangekyo is illusion. Naruto said. I need to use the hypnosis of illusion to improve my own eyes, so it is not suitable for me to implant them. For many things, the first time works best. If I do it by myself, I will use illusion in front of the mirror, advance one eye first, and then change the other. I'm afraid it's the second time, because of my adaptation to the pain, I can't complete the advanced step. The same Mangekyo, if you want to complete hypnosis, ordinary illusion is not feasible, and pupil power must be added. And Mangekyo's pupil power is limited, it's exhausted, and I can't replenish it. I still want to use it to do something. It's not good to use it for advanced eyes. Hearing Naruto talk about this, Hinata said clearly, you already have a way. The first way is that you learn illusion from now on. Naruto said, reach the Chunin, or Jonin level, and then implant this Mangekyo, hypnosis me. The second way is to ask Ino. She has gained a lot of experience in a state of being possessed by a soul, and her level of illusion is not low. Can't Mr. Kakashi? Hinata wondered. How should I put it? Naruto said. The pupil technique that resides in that manjikyo is very tricky, but I can still use it if I keep it. Implant it to Mr. Kakashi, and he will know the effect of the pupil technique. Then I probably won't come back unless I turn against him. If it were you, you wouldn't trust such a dangerous pupil technique to a 12-year-old boy. It's not that Mr. Kakashi will take it privately. He will most likely hand it over to Hokage, Sister Tsunade. Dangerous? What kind of pupil technique? Hinata was curious. When Naruto explained the role of distinguished heavenly gods, Hinata was dumbfounded and understood Naruto's worry. Indeed, no matter how big-hearted an adult is, it is impossible for a child to master such abilities. I see, Naruto-kun, let's use the second method, go to Ino. Hinata said. She likes you and will not do anything to hurt you, let alone leak or betray you. For me, learning from scratch, even if there is shadow clone, it will take a while. My top priority now is to advance with white eyes, so I don't want to be distracted by illusion. Hinata understood what Naruto meant. The best, most reasonable, and fastest way is to ask Ino. The extra addition of her is still in the first place, it is a respect for her, and it is also a confession to her, not to hide anything. And Hinata believes that if she chooses the first one, by herself, Naruto will agree. That being the case, she has no reason to intervene and slow down Naruto's growth. If Naruto really wants to find someone outside, she can't guard against it no matter what. Instead of being on guard and showing distrust of Naruto, it is better to be yourself and attract Naruto with the most authentic self. Click. The bedroom door was opened from the inside. Hanabi came out with a note in his hand, took off his earplugs, and said, "Brother-in-law's avatar, I don't know what's going on here, you give me." I saw a strange yet familiar man. I saw my sister standing aside with scissors in hand. Saw a bunch of yellow hair in the trash can. Hanabi was stunned. Early the next morning, Naruto first went to Tsunade and Jiraiya to explain his situation, which was consistent with what he said to Kakashi, inferring that it was the ability of Nine Tails. Then I bought some fruit, came to Yamanaka's house, and paid a visit. Where's Uncle Ant? Where did he go? Naruto was curious. I was at the side last night and heard the conversation between you and Hinata. I knew you would come this morning, so I specially sent the two of you out early. This must not be said. Ino smiled and said, my dad is working in Umbu, and my mom is working in a flower shop. She's been very busy recently. Really? Naruto put down the fruit, knelt down in front of the low table, took Ino's freshly brewed black tea, thanked him, and took a symbolic sip to explain his intention. Knowing everything, Ino pretended not to know, and twirled the ends of her hair with her fingers. After Naruto finished speaking, she opened her mouth and said, of course it's okay to help you, but in the end, what benefits can I get? Sharingan. Naruto said. Huh? Are you going to give me that manjikyo? Ino was surprised. No, I will find other Sharingan and make a complete pair for you. Naruto said. Danzo doesn't know how much Sharingan inventory is left. The root organization, which exists in name only, can be obtained by looking for Tsunade through trading, provided that it can be found. Obito has more Sharingan, which can also be obtained through trading. Please, my focus has never been on direct combat, Ino said. It's control, it's perception. Why did you give me a pair of Sharingan? I don't like changing other people's eyes at all. I can't accept it psychologically or physically after long-term use. When it's done, I'll give you 5 million, Naruto said. You see me as someone who is short of money. Ino laughed. Then what do you want? Naruto asked. You can't give me what I want. Ino. What is it? Naruto. You. Ino. Naruto. Look, you can't give it, so. Ino rested his chin on both hands, stared at Naruto unblinkingly with beautiful eyes, and said softly. I will help you unconditionally. If you think this is a favor owed to me, next time, when I ask you, just don't refuse. Of course, it's a request that won't embarrass you, and won't make Hinata misunderstand. I'll be careful. Naruto was silent. He asked Kurama to send a message to Shadow Clone, and told Hinata who was practicing at home, and told Hinata exactly. After getting Hinata's consent, he nodded and said, okay. Bring it. Ino held out his right hand. Naruto took out the manjikyo kept in a sealed container. Ino held it in his hand and looked at it. What are the requirements for illusion, such as scenes, characters, events, the more detailed the better. The scene is in the village. Naruto said. Characters, Hinata, Hanabi, Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke, Little Sakura, Jiraiya-sensei, Tsunade-san, everyone I know and come into contact with. The incident first deprived me of my strength and turned me into a useless person, so serious that I couldn't take care of myself. Everyone treats me as well as always, and even cares about me more. Then, come a masked man in black and kill all the people around me. The process can be bloodier and crueler. Finally, it's my turn, so you don't have to be polite, just be cruel. Cover up my memory for nearly half a year, so I can't know that it's in an illusion. Ino. Hinata couldn't help but peek with white eyes. Kurama. Is this enough? Naruto pondered, or, it should be more cruel. Thanks for watching, like, subscriber and share for next part.